Welcome to Xbox International. I am Sour Blow. And today, you see, we got Crazy Lou and Mr. Joanna Dark. They think they're funny. And they like to make little jokes. So today's my payback day. Today I'm going to have some fun. With both of you. Brian, I'm going to forgive you. So you're going to be safe today. But we're going to have some fun. So welcome everyone to Xbox International. We're going to start with the intros real quick. So Joanna Dark, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Thank you, Sourblot. I don't know what you're talking about.
Welcome to XBI Podcast.
The pros and cons, but at the end of the day, I'm a big fan of the game.
Sorry to interrupt you real quick. As I said, I'm gonna have some fun today. So, unfortunately, while you started introducing yourself, I forgot I haven't put I didn't put the intro of the video, so okay. You kind of were cut off. So, can you start again, please?
I guess so. Did we not start?
Now people.
So now we're live. Wow, man! You just cost us a bunch of people. You just cost us a bunch of viewers for that.
No,
good job, Sourblot. I mean, it is perfect for the show. It is perfect for the show because he is the worst driver, as you saw in the trailer.
Oh,
and then he took Crazy Lou out and threw him in the bushes.
Oh, we're in for a rough drive today, so buckle up.
But
anyways, we're just getting started.
But wait, why the hell do I have to be the ugly turtle? Why can't you put me as Bowser though? This is why I grabbed my stick today, because I'm gonna hit you all. If Sourblot does something to me, I'm gonna hit him.
Like I was saying before Sourblot. Yeah, no, I've been good. Busy, like I think everyone else we've been talking about with work. Work's been busy. But in between, I've had the time to do a little bit of gaming. You've been jumping on that Pokemon when I can. And then, of course, diving into some Neo. I finally got that itch with Elden Ring around the corner. But I'm most excited on Friday to play Dying Light, which is one of the games that I've been anticipating. I mean, I beat it last month in an unhealthy amount of hours I put on the Switch. And now I'm ready to jump back in that world. I think it calls to me. To anybody out there who's still on the fence about it, take a look at some of the good reviews. Check out Mr. Bad Bits. It's pretty good. That's the PlayStation Trophy Room. They did a good one with Luke Lore, and they really dive in kind of into the little nits and crannies. But I'm excited. What about you, Crazy Lou?
Wait. I'm the host. Hold on.
Well, no, I'm having fun with you anyway. Crazy Lou, like
horses. Brian, let's go with Brian. Brian, how you been? What you been
playing? It's my birthday. Just kidding, it's not my
Happy birthday, Silent Cypher.
Yes.
God, this just got awkward.
You want me to do a special dance for you, buddy?
No more.
Don't do
As
it.
your lawyer, I'd advise you don't do that.
Oh, man.
Remember, I'm in the control also, Crazy, so I can disable your video too.
You got the ban hammer, right? No, I'm good. I'm good, man. We're halfway through the week. I'm so happy for the weekend to be coming. I have not gotten to play a lot of games recently, except for Forza, and maybe a little bit of Halo yesterday. But no, I'm excited about the topics. I'm excited to jump into it. So let's go.
No Forza. Well, just to let the audience know, Sour Blow is very butthurt because he took it all the wrong way about Sea of Thieves.
Yes,
and then I told him. I played a practical joke on him.
Don't try to play
it. And then when I got him, he's butthurt. So just want you to know why he's that.
Yeah, excuses, whatever. Anyway, Crazy, you're next. And you know what I'm going to do? Since you love doing your outros, I'm going to let you open with the outro. Can you open with your outro, please? No introduction, your outro.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna pull the trigger.
Go ahead. We're waiting for you to move on.
For my outro? Oh,
Ready.
Man, okay. So you guys can follow me at Crazy Louie Gaming on Twitter, and y'all can follow me also on Crazy Louie Gaming on my channel, with Team XBI's at 7 p.m. What else did I say though? I forgot though because I'm a bit tired from last night. Boom Boom Kaboom show.
You know what you're saying.
And also what's the other show though? Oh, Gaming Lobby on Tuesdays, which is a Spanish show, and I speak Spanish with my brother Sour Blue. Am I good? Whoa, what was that?
How about your phrase? Your phrase.
Oh, let's go. Let's rock and let's get crazy. Yeah. Are we good now?
Yeah, we're having some fun. I like it. Anyway, I'm Sour Blow. As you see, we're in for a rough ride. So, as I said before, buckle up. We're going to have some fun today. I'm going to start with the first topic, which should have been the last topic.
Wait. Before we even start with the show, can we get through some housekeeping rules?
Oh, yes, go ahead. That I will permit you.
Yes.
Thank you. Right. First rule: don't be toxic like Sour Blow. Quick, some housekeepings. Like I said before, we always want to interact with you. We want to answer your questions. We respect everyone's thoughts and perspectives. So let's keep the chat nice and healthy. We don't all have to agree. That's a good thing, but we can all come together and just kind of have a healthy discussion, have fun, and everything like that. Again, if you have questions, let us know. We're going to have one of us checking the chats, and please interact with us. Like I always say, we want to answer your questions. We want to go ahead and kind of, instead of just us talking here, we want to, garner some of those questions that you might have as we go through the topic. So that's about it. And again, remember, don't be toxic like Sour Blow.
If they have a question, what was the...
Oh, yeah. If you have a question, just put a Q. Because sometimes, again, the chat is going and we may miss it. Just put a Q. That just means, hey, somebody has a question and we're going to address it, and we'll kind of stop in between and make sure we get those questions answered.
Okay. Well, moving on, another thing that Joanna loves to do is he loves to be organized. So today we're not going to be organized. We're going to go all over the place. So let's start with...
what is this, like a test? Like you think I didn't study?
Yeah.
No, not that you didn't study. It's just that, I want to get a little bit on your nerves today. That's kind of my payback. You say that, but whatever. Anyway, let's go with the state of play and also the Sony Bungie acquisition. So let's start with you, Joanna Dark. What did you think about the state of play first? And regarding the Bungie acquisition, what was your reaction? And what do you think this brings to Sony?
So that's a two-part question, right? And what I'll do is so I can let everyone else go. Let me start with the state of play.
Okay. I
was able to catch it briefly. And I know Gran Turismo came out today. Everyone was excited trying to see. I'm gonna say at the bat, I like Forza. I like race. The only racing games I like are Mario Kart and Twisted Metal. From what I saw from the gameplay, I'm waiting for the 4K trailer. It looked cool. Look Gran Turismo, but it still looked, to me at the moment, didn't look as sharp as Forza 5. Mm-hmm. I like the replays, of course, showcasing the nice, ray tracing. It's basically, if you look at Gran Turismo, it's what people love and play the franchise for, which is that real sim, kind of getting into the nitty gritty of cars. I did like the whole thing about the weather effects and how they play, and for some reason they were just trying to make me feel like you want to go on a date with one of these cars. But I'm not a car expert, and I just hope that when it does launch, it definitely meets the expectations of the people that love that franchise.
Okay. How about you, Crazy? What do you think about the state of play? We saw it together.
Well, yeah, we did. We did a show on it together on Gaming Lobby earlier. What do I think about it? Well, I'm gonna tell you something though. It was pretty cool. They still need to polish a bunch of things though, still. But I know that when the game comes out, it's gonna be a lot more, because seriously, what we saw before and we saw now, it's a lot better. That's the truth. And the other thing is the modes it has: drift mode, license mode, all that stuff is awesome. Also, the weather thing, I will say, whoa, that's pretty cool. That if it rains, it's gonna make your car have problems, slow it down. If it runs into puddles, stuff like that. That's gonna be pretty awesome. I also want to know what the DualSense is gonna do, and the 3D audio, all that stuff is gonna be pretty awesome. But have only one complaint though. They should have done what Forza did though. They did a show on this, they did a show on that. They pretty much cut it into pieces so everybody can sit down and learn what is new with this game. They pretty much put everything in this half an hour, and they didn't like get into a lot of explaining to do. They just said, okay, this is what happened. Let's go over here. Yeah, this is gonna do this and do that. But we wanted to see more of it. I mean, I wanted to see more of it. If they would have done what the guys at Forza did, like they did the weekly shows showing what's gonna come up in Forza, the things it's gonna do, it would have been a lot more better. Like get deep into it. I would have loved it more. But yeah, they need to polish a little bit more, and the replays look good. They look better, and like I said, if they could get some things from the replays into gameplay, it's gonna look pretty good. That's my opinion.
I think Jay Vargas has a point here. He said no gameplay, no third party view, lacked gameplay, and overall for him it was disappointing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there was too much replays. I said, replays look cool, but if the short gameplay you see, I was like, okay, it looks good, but it doesn't look that good yet. I mean, it doesn't look as good as the replays. If they could bring what the replay have inside, then way better it would look. But
I mean, is it me or the? And again, I want to watch the 4K trailer, but it looks a little bit bland. And when I mean bland, it's like it looks like a solid like thing, but like no color. You know what I'm saying? Like when a game kind of just looks like, like this grayish kind of tint. And again, I want to hope I keep checking, and I'm gonna go tonight and see the 4K trailer, just like anything else. I never go with the stream because the stream is always compressed and it's 1080p. So I really want to check it out on my nice OLED and check it out and give it and say, oh wow, this looks really nice. Because again, I just want to make sure. I hope it turns out well for those people that have been waiting for this game because it's been a long time.
Okay, I'm curious about you, Brian. You're a car expert. What did you think about the whole showcase?
Definitely wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I
you play Forza like 24/7, man.
Yeah,
I do. I love it so much. No, I'm happy for him. I hope it all goes well, and it does look like they are going into some pretty good detail with this new one, at least from everything we've heard about it. That being said, I don't know. I bounced off of Gran Turismo back around 3. 3 was kind of the last point where I really got hooked on those Gran Turismo games. So for me, I'm kind of gearing more towards like I'm very curious as to what Forza Motorsport's going to bring to the table with the next one, especially with how much time they've had on that game.
Yeah.
But since we're just talking about state of play stuff right now, and we're talking Gran Turismo, again, I think it'd be a really good thing for him. There's not a lot of, there's not really any sim racers right now in their portfolio besides their in-house stuff from Gran Turismo. So to see what they're bringing to the table, it looks like it is a good advancement. And I gotta imagine that's going to excite a lot of people that are on the console. So yeah, I don't know. I got to go in and out on watching this one because my service where I was at work, my cell service was a nightmare. So I got to see bits and pieces. Just like we were saying, I want to see it in the 4K trailer. I want to go back over it, and I think that'll maybe give me a better feel for how I really feel about it. But yeah, I think based on what we're hearing, it does seem like it's a good step forward.
Okay. Well, I agree with all your points. I don't want to sound like too repetitive, but what I got to add is that for me, I thought the show was a little bit too long for what it showed. I think also that it felt like they were trying to be like too like technical, like kind of like to impress me, kind of like the Max Cerny show that remember with the whole SSD, and a lot of the things I thought it was like unnecessary. Like when they started talking about the weather at the very beginning, they started telling you how the clouds were formed. And then towards the end, it did get interesting on like when they started talking about how the tracks get wet and, how they would dry out depending on, certain spots would dry out first because basically, kind of like real life, where it will have kind of that weather effect. But a lot of the things they added and a lot of the replays, I thought it was unnecessary. If they would have cut maybe the show like to 15 minutes, I think it would have been a really great showcase for Gran Turismo. And I do think it looked a little bit better than what they have showed before. But I agree with you. It still doesn't seem like something too impressive. Like I looked at it.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Can I jump in real quick? I actually have
you
so
can,
a couple
not the other two guys.
Not the other ones, just
No.
me. So that I was actually just thinking as you were talking, a couple things that come to mind for me, and I don't know if they touched on it. I might have missed it. But I know in the past with the Gran Turismos, they didn't always get 100% of the cars, or at least initially, fully designed as far as like the interior and some of the actual visuals and stuff for them and the details. So I would be curious. One, I'd be very curious as to what the overall car count is, because I don't recall hearing what that's going to be. But also, I'm very curious as to what the percentage of cars are that have been accurately modeled and fully modeled to the cars that are going to be in the race, or in the game, I mean.
Okay, Joanna, you come back. I'm kidding. I'm playing around. Do you got anything else to add? I'm gonna send in the Yakuza's after you.
Did you put him in the corner?
No, he did it himself. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I swear
nobody put the baby in the corner.
This was not me. I swear.
Okay.
Crazy. Do you have anything else to add?
No. I mean, that was pretty much it. I mean, Jay Vargas also made a comment here. He says, Sour look to you. He said that I was also disappointed with the lack of photorealism. If you compare the opening of Forza, we couldn't tell if it was a picture or the game. Then bam.
Yeah, I remember that was
100%.
a huge wow moment for me. Like when I was watching it, I thought it was the cinematic, and then when the gameplay entered, I was blown away.
Yeah. Showing all the details on every piece of cacti and stuff as they're cruising through. God, it was amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I do hope, in that same note, I do hope that, obviously I do want to see the accuracy with the cars and stuff, but I do hope that the actual game isn't super sterile, if you know what I mean, like in regards to the environments, because Gran Turismo is usually very, very race focused, like very circuit focused and stuff, and they don't go super in detail with some of those extra visual aspects and stuff. It's hard to come out right after Forza, where you can roam everywhere and everything is super well detailed. So if it is a track racer, it's like you've got to add more layers to it, whether it's just making the crowds look better in the races, or I don't know. I don't know how you make that look better, but it's hard to come out after such a big open world racer like that.
I mean, even though they're racers, they're two separate games. One is a real life simulator. I know Forza does have some things, but it's the more
it's arcade
portion.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
But even our open world, Forza 5 looks incredible. Even the first time we saw it, and I don't know. In a way, I feel that Sony themselves haven't done a good job of marketing this game and putting it in a good, I guess, light. I guess the first couple of trailers got people excited, and that was more like a little bit of cut of CG or whatever you want to call it, and a little bit of cut, and little replays. But then afterwards, it seems like that after that momentum, it's just they haven't shown it well, and sometimes that's not good. That can be detrimental to a game, especially we can be come March, whatever, I think it's March 4th, people sit down and it's like, wow, this game looks amazing. And you're like, I wish Sony would have done a better job of showing me how amazing this was. So again, to the people that love those games, hey, hopefully Gran Turismo is back, because, hey, original, I'm not a car enthusiastic, but I love the original Gran Turismo when I tried to play it. So definitely love to see a franchise historic as that come back into the limelight and be good again.
One more thing to bring up real quick. I'm sorry, Sour.
No, go ahead.
again, I might have missed it, but did they talk about what the frame per second is going to look like on this? Or are
No.
they getting up to 120?
No,
They
I don't
they
think
haven't
we
they
know yet.
didn't
Or
mention.
maybe
Yeah,
So
I made him ask. I know.
I'd be curious about that. I'd be curious if they decide to try and one up. Obviously in a more sterile situation like that, like a circuit racer and stuff like Forza Motorsport and Gran Turismo, it seems like it's easier to get to those 120, right? Because you're cutting out all the extra environment, you're cutting out all that extra detail. So I wonder if they are going to hit a 120 on that one.
So-
It'd be interesting to see.
Silent. I got this from a gaming bolt, and this was today.
Okay.
It says that Polyphony Digital bought Kazunuro Yamauchi, I think it is.
Okay.
Said that we'll have two visual modes. One that will allow 60 FPS performance, and one that will take a hit to the frame and enable ray tracing for improved lighting. So I think they showed those modes, and most likely that one that takes a hit, you have 30, kind of like Forza,
That's going
right?
to be 30.
30 FPS, yeah.
Yeah.
But then you have the
Okay.
performance mode,
So
which
it
is
caps
60.
out at 60.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I was just curious if they were going to bring a 120 to the table, because I think that's definitely something I would wonder about with, again, motorsport. I'm curious what they're going to do to move it forward.
I see.
Not
Well,
that 120 is necessary.
well, moving on to the big news. We lost Halo, unfortunately. No, jokes aside, Sony got Bungie. So crazy. What was your reaction when this happened, and what do you think about this whole thing with what does this mean to Sony?
What this means to Sony is actually pretty good. I mean, I'm happy that they actually. First off, it's pretty good that they actually bought a studio that makes first-person shooter games, which they were lacking. That really they were just lacking because all they were doing is third person. So yeah, it's good that they're opening up their thing and getting Bungie in to help them get to first person shooters. So that's gonna be pretty cool. But there's something that I just don't understand about that deal. I mean, I understand it, but it's weird though. On how that deal came down. That like okay, you guys bought us. We'll give you this, but our IPs and the games we make, it's our decision on what we want to do with them. If we want to give them everywhere, we'll put them everywhere. We'll put them here, we'll put them here. But that's our decision. You can't cut corners and say anything. This is our decision. When I saw that, I was like, okay, but Sony spent 3.6, and then all of a sudden, there's a news that came out today, right? That Sony's making 10 service games, or I might be wrong. Is that true though? I heard about that.
They said somewhere they were saying that by 2026 they hope to have 10 live service games.
So, yes, they're pretty much doing that. So now I get more why was the buy for Bungie, but still though, the IPs though are not going to be there, and I would have been happy though that like if they would have locked down like their IPs in there, but again, I did not get that part of the deal. Also, in my point of view, I think it was a little bit expensive. I feel that like it was like that. It was a little bit expensive though for what they're giving them. For me, it was, but let's see what happens though. I mean, I'm actually really happy that they did acquire a studio of those first person shooters because they actually do need that there.
So crazy. Here's my thing on
Yeah.
overbuying, right?
Yeah.
I look at it this way, right? Anything that you want sometimes, right?
Yeah.
It's always through the eyes of somebody of what you think it's worth, right? We all buy things and we say we have a price in our mind of what's worth.
Yeah.
And when we want to secure something and we need something, think about it in the best context, right? And maybe this is not the best. Think about how many people wanted a Series X and wanted a PS5 and wanted a Series S. And for months they're like, hey, just keep going to the stores. And eventually you're looking at all these games coming out and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go get myself a one of these consoles and I'm going to pay a little premium to get them. I'm going to say, hey, man, that's crazy that you went and paid this money. But guess what? To that person, the fact that they were able to secure at the price that they were willing to go over to secure a next-gen console was worth it. And when I look at this deal let's forget about all the FUD that I hear about that you only got one IP. Guess what? That one IP is the top It's the 9th on the list when it comes to Steam
wait.
games, right? But here's another thing. But no. And the next part is it's more about what Sony needed from an infrastructure perspective. They needed a studio and a developer that can not only continue to give them a game that's going to continue to bring a continued revenue stream to the platform, and we'll get into that when we see the financials, right? And the second part to that is they also are going to help them take a look at some of the games that Sony may have and say, hey, we need someone with your expertise to give us a better look to hopefully be able to make these service games that we have in the pipeline more impactful. You know, I think we were talking offline is what if Bungie's helping now Naughty Dog look at the Factions game? So I think, you know, when you look at the 3.6 billion, when everyone is overpaying or paying above premium, you're going to have to pay. And if you have a need.
But I mean, I'm just telling you, like in my point of view, though. I mean, I feel like it's a little bit, though. That's what I'm saying, though. But I'm not saying like it's a bad thing, you know. But I'm just saying, like, okay, for me, I found it like that. But in that point of view, like you say, it's understandable.
Remember when Microsoft bought Bethesda, right?
Yeah.
And then what happened in the financials? They basically made back what they spent and more.
Yeah. And more.
And that's what we're looking at, right?
Yep.
I mean, when I'm playing fantasy football for you fantasy footballs out there, right? I say, hey, I'm gonna play. I have all these players that are good, but I want to get a solid player, so I don't have to think every week who to put in, right?
I know.
I'm gonna go and overpay on a superstar to come over to my roster, and I look at the same thing. You know, hey, you gotta spend money to make money sometimes, man.
Oh, but then, like I said, like you said, the financial part, like for example, Destiny 2, the revenue on Destiny 2 is huge. It's between 100 million and 500 million yearly. That's the revenue of Destiny 2. That's it. That's what they get. Mm-hmm. So, which is a pretty good thing. Like I said, I mean, after you sit down and you talk about, like, see stuff and noticing stuff, like you said, you know, you want to get the top thing, because when people were blabbing, like you said, about the one IP, I was like, what? They got Bungie. And you guys are not seeing, you guys are just seeing the game, but you need to see above the game. I mean, you got to see who Bungie is. Guys, Bungie was the one who created Halo. And Halo came out so popular from the idea from Bungie. Not only that, they also made Destiny. And Destiny became widely popular too. And not only that, there's no other game, because they were, like, I remember I was in the chat, right? They were saying, look, Destiny does not compete with Doom and this. And I said, they do not. You're actually right. It does not compete. Why? Because
it's two different games.
Exactly. Destiny is alone here. But in the multiplayer part, yes, they compete. On the multi, like Slayer, stuff like that, yes, they compete. But the game itself, nobody, I mean, they tried Division, they didn't make it. They tried Anthem. Anthem failed miserably, and it didn't make it. Seriously, nobody is competing right now. Destiny is right there alone, and yeah, Sony got that thing for them. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm pretty happy though, and again, I'm really happy they got it. They got it, and I'm happy that they're gonna get new technology in there for them, and they're gonna make advancements, which is good. That's awesome. For me, I'm really happy they did.
You know, one of the things that I was always, you know, I was looking, you know, I'm pretty sure everyone sees it, is that, you know, it's always funny when, and I think we were talking in the back, where when a game goes to a certain platform, all of a sudden people want to say that game is not good anymore. And I think that's a very disservice. A good game was always a good game, no matter what platform it went to. You know, whether, you know, X game goes here. Destiny, did I stop playing it? Sure. But I invested on it 2 times in a row, because to me it was going to be the kind of player, because I love Halo, and Destiny reminded me of Halo with a lot of the lore. And I think when I saw that, I was like, wow. You know, one of the things that I've heard, you know, you always learn, right, in business is sometimes you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to do what successful people do, right? So what Sony did is, hey, I have a gap, right? I make, again, I sound like a broken record because I feel like I said this before. We make amazing, you know, third-person, spectacular blockbusters, right? But the one thing that our fan base is missing, or people that maybe want to come over to the PlayStation as well, is these games as a service, right? And we're all talking about, we talked about King, we talked about COD, whatever. What game can they bring that they continue to bring another revenue stream, because again, these games are not going to pay themselves, right? So Destiny it also serves, similar to what Microsoft has with King, serves as a way of, hey, let's continue to bring this revenue in. And Sony's revenue for live services was up because of the many deals that they have, and of course the games that they put themselves around and promote the PlayStation brand with. So with Destiny, they have a game there, and I feel that Bungie, having someone like Sony maybe come over them and say, hey, let me show you how to manage a game, because that's another thing I think a lot of Destiny players says, that Bungie fell behind sometimes on the things they promised, even though they delivered. So maybe they have another person to kind of, hey, let me get you to that cadence like we do it now that you're here. And in addition, it allows that cash flow for Bungie to be like, hey, let's start doing some of the crazy ideas we had on this whiteboard, now that we have the backing of a Sony behind us. And that is going to reciprocate across everything. So, we saw what happened to Destruction All-Stars. Imagine if Bungie was there to kind of help them and say, hey, let me show you how you can make this game better. And I'm excited to see how Bungie and their expertise, at least to a service, invigorates PlayStation to make more. Hey, if we can get a SOCOM, a Twisted Metal, give me, all these, give me another Siphon Filter multiplayer mode, I'm down. I mean, Sony tried it before. We had Dust 514, which was an EVE Online game. I loved it. But again, it was at the end of the PS3. So it's definitely exciting. And it's just going to be, like I said, this generation is it's just February, man. And it's just, it's getting spicy.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you. It's getting really spicy.
Yes. Now, adding to that, there was a actual quote from Jim Ryan. I was trying to find it, the exact one. I don't have it with me. But he basically said that this deal was to have Bungie help them build future games of service, and this is gonna accelerate this, accelerate the process for them. So I think this deal was something that was done so Bungie could help them make these games, but also I think Bungie will also benefit because they would use the technology that Sony has, and like the mocap and all that. So passing the mic to Brian, what do you think, what else do you think about this? Like, how else do you think they could benefit from each other, or do you think there's something more to this that other than just Bungie helping them make these games of service?
Obviously, Mr. Joanna Dark covered it pretty well with a lot of that stuff, but I definitely think that, to view it as, okay, cool, they got Destiny, and that's it is very short-sighted, right? Is like they've specified, and it was also mentioned that they want to expand their footprint. They want to get out there. They want to try new things, and I think it's a really smart investment for Sony. Now, granted, did they overpay? Yes. Is it a time where you have to overpay if you want to get what you want to get? Yes. And honestly, at the end of the day, Bungie, again, we've talked about the human side of it. We've talked about the people behind this deal and the people who are affected with it. And this, I think, helps a lot in the fact that they get to bring that money to them and say, okay, here's a big mound of cash. And now you get to have less stress. You get to focus on what you do best. And we're going to back you. We're going to make sure that you get the support you need. I think that's a really big thing, right? Like, we knew that Bungie had some struggles here and there, just like IOI. When they bounced out from Square Enix, it's hard to go to an independent developer and do your thing and try and get things up and rolling. And I think in this situation, it reduces a bunch of stress for Bungie. It allows them to be more creative. They know that at the end of the day, they're getting paid. They don't have to worry about the financial side as much. Sony is taking care of that side of it. They just have to try and meet their goals and metrics, right? So yeah, I think from this, I think ultimately they are going to expand. They're going to maybe do some TV show stuff. Maybe they'll dabble in that. Maybe they'll do some comic stuff, or they'll do some other games. Like, we knew that they were going to do something other than Destiny, right? So I am very curious as to seeing what that next game is besides Destiny, because like we were talking about previously, I'm not really a Destiny guy. Bungie did a great job with the Halos and stuff. I tried to play Destiny. I just could not get into it. The thing that I would argue, though, because it was mentioned the fact that, like, yeah, these guys made Halo. Yes, the developer made Halo. A lot of the people that were from that original team are not there anymore. A lot of them have bounced off to certain affinity. You've got folks going left and right, like all over. You've got,
Yes.
people landing over at Microsoft. So yes, I think there are still some of those folks there, but it's definitely not the same team you saw circa 2010 or whenever it was around that time when they were starting to make Reach, ODST, stuff like that. But yeah, ultimately that's my thing. I think they are going to expand. I think this reduces the stress on them. I think that's a good thing.
Yes, I completely agree. Adding to that, regarding the overpaying, if you look at things, I mean, everything is more expensive right now. Houses are through the roof, cars are through the roof.
100%.
Xbox actually, Microsoft actually overpaid for Activision Blizzard. They paid over
That I was gonna mention something. You want to know a fun fact? You know
Yeah.
how many studios does Activision have? It has 5 business units. 5. When you divide 68 billion to 5, you know how much those business studios cost? Pick a number. They cost $13.60 billion each. So these guys are complaining because Bungie was $3.6 billion. Activision's one studio from Activision cost $13.6 billion. Just one. That's how much it costs.
To be fair, though,
Yeah.
when you look at that, it's not necessarily apples to apples, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, no.
the developers over there in ActiBliz, those guys have
Yeah.
a massive wealth of IPs that they've
mhm.
done. Yes, you have Halo and you have Destiny, but that's kind of it. At the moment, it's kind of a known sum. Until they create a new thing and they bring it out,
Yeah.
that's all we know them for.
And
So
what people don't remember is once Bungie left Activision, they purchased themselves out of that.
Yeah.
They were looking for investors, right? And
Mhm.
they got, I think, with NetEase, and NetEase most likely got paid part of that 3.6 billion because you have to pay NetEase whatever shares. Kind of like, we were talking the whole thing with Activision and Tencent having a small shareholders in that percentage. And I remember Bungie saying that they were in pre-production of expanding to different IPs and everything. And I think when you look at that, as well as just because all you know them as is the studio that made Destiny, similar to what we're seeing right now with Blizzard, right? Didn't all of a sudden they start saying we have projects that we want to announce, stuff like that?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure tucked away, there's probably a little book of ideas or even things they were working on. And Sony was like, oh, wait, we can probably use this on our side. And we don't know about them, right? And we were just saying right now,
Yeah.
what is that new IP? So you just can't think about it. And to take it a step further is, with the purchases that Sony makes, and I look at it again, and I said this before, it's about plugging in and fitting the pieces that meet what they need when it comes to deficiencies in their infrastructure. They have the IPs, we know that already, right? God of War, that's a known IP. Last of Us, every time we hear and somebody compares any type of game, they compare it to the quality of Last of Us, right? Then you have, of course, Insomniac with Spider-Man and stuff. So they have those IPs that are recognizable. So what do they need to do? They need to find a company like Nixus that takes them into the PC space for ports, right? Hey, let me get somebody like Destiny to give me a live service game, and I can understand how to monetize games better and how to produce these games that are just, they don't burn out after a couple of months and they do have a long legs. Hey, let me go and purchase Bluepoint. Why? Because Bluepoint has been making remakes of our catalog, and they know how to port stuff that maybe we want down the road. And also, let's give them some legs to kind of go ahead. So versus, Microsoft. Hey, we have technology, we have cloud, we have all this infrastructure, but one of the things we don't have is IPs.
Yep.
So again, a tale of two companies, going at the same beat, of course, purchasing where it makes sense for them as their overall team and their vision of how they want to get there, where they're all going to get to the same place. It's just doing it in a different way.
Yep.
Yeah.
So guys, let me jump in real quick and say what's up to the chat, because we got a bunch of people here. Can I though, Sour Blow? Is it okay with you? You're not gonna kill me?
He's a troll today.
Yeah, so that's what I'm asking though.
You may go ahead.
You sure? I mean, okay, let's begin. We got, let me see, going up. All right. First off, let's say hello to Tony Grasso. What's up, Tony Grasso? Jay Vargas, how are you, my dear brother? Who else is here? Kojak. Yes, Kojak is here. My Halo brother, Retro Nerd. Yes. Oh, man. Welcome. Hello, my Halo brother. Who else do we have?
We had Eternal Umbra.
Yeah. Yes, Eternal Umbra is here also. Welcome, Eternal Umbra. Kayla. Ooh.
Caitlin. Yeah.
Well, Caitlin and her cookies. Love those cookies on Monday. They taste so good. And her food. Ooh. She's not posted food in a while.
Even showed up.
Yes, I see Rachel Hopkins is here also. Hello, Brian's wife. How are you? I mean, Silent Cypress, right? So.
Where's Mrs. Crazy to make sure you don't go out of control?
I don't know. Is she here, though?
She got worn out
everybody,
after last night.
You should, if you haven't had the chance to check the new Nukem Gaming After Dark last night, the minute I called Mrs. Crazy and she was in the chat, you should see Crazy Lou's face. It is priceless. I think I might make a video out of it too.
How is that priceless though?
Dude,
he was looking at his back. He's like, come on.
You went so quiet there for a minute. It was amazing.
But yes, because she put the figure that she always puts when she's mad. She puts the knife and the thing. And every time I see that, the eggplant. Every time I see that, I don't know what that means. I do not know I do not want to find out what it means, and I don't care about it. When I see that means she's mad.
She's preparing you for the future.
Yes.
This was crazy. He was talking, and everybody was like,
is that makeup he got in his eye? I think he got a black eye or something.
Also, my cousin from Aruba, John Richard, is here. Hello, Bumby. Nice. And also, Big Mad Doe. What's up, my Big Mad Mo? I mean, what's up, my brother?
What?
Was it Doe?
Did you say Doe? Come on.
Doe, yeah. Sorry, Big Mad. Hey, sorry. I went to bed at 2 a.m. yesterday. I'm a bit tired, so yeah, my eyes are, flimsy. Sorry about that. Oh, look at Carlos Angeles here. What's up, JC? How are you, sir? So yeah, Sarablo, you may go on with your trolling.
Well, did we get through the financials yet?
Did we?
Actually, let's leave that for later. What do you say? Let's go with a topic that I know you're very excited, Joanna Dark. It's this Friday. We actually got the Ghostwire stream, so we're gonna see what's new about. Well, they're gonna show Ghostwire. I'm interested to see what you gotta say about this, Joanna. But, however, let's go to Brian first. Let's see what he got to say. I know you're very excited to talk about it, but
okay, hold on. You're gonna have to say that again then, because I was trolling in the chat.
Oh, Ghostwire Tokyo. There's a stream this Friday. Are you excited about it?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, obviously, for me, I've got an ancient computer. I don't think I've upgraded this thing for like 9 years. So I'm going to be waiting until it comes out on Xbox next year, which fortunately, that's at least the saving grace, right? Is that we were told that it's a year exclusive, which I'm fine with, honestly. We talk about it all the time, the fact that we have so many games in the backlog. I'm going to get grief for it, I'm sure, but I have not finished Halo Infinite. So it's like
if you would stop playing Forza, maybe you would finish something.
Dude, I can't.
He's addicted. We're gonna have an
need my Forza. No. You can have all the interventions you want. You know what? We'll have an intervention while we're playing Forza. How about that? We can multitask. I'd be good with it.
There's only two games that get Brian away from Forza. One is Friday the 13th, the game, and the next one is Evil Dead. That's all the two games are going to get away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. God, rest in peace on that delay. I get that it had to happen, but man, I really wanted some Evil Dead.
Speaking
Bruce
of,
Campbell would have destroyed Elden Ring and Horizon.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why.
I agree with you, man.
yeah.
That's my hope. That's my hope.
I'm telling you, if right now Evil Dead comes out, I'm not even gonna play Dying Light. I'm gonna go to Evil Dead right away. That's it.
Speaking of the delay, real quick, since we have several topics, we don't know how much time we can talk about it. Yes, Evil Dead was delayed, and there was a question in the chat about Suicide Squad. That was also delayed, unfortunately.
So internally, I don't.
Actually, yes. Silent Cypher called it.
Yeah,
Kudos
he
to
did.
him.
He did.
He did.
I mean, if you look at it, right?
That was a surprise to me,
that-
right?
It's pretty funny. We were making lots of predictions on the show. I mean, remember we started with the Hitman, and all of a sudden the next week Hitman came on Game Pass, right?
Yes.
The trilogy. That was funny though. And then what was the other prediction? The next one was I forgot
What else
what
did
the
we
other
have?
prediction.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
We were talking about it.
Yeah, we were talking about it though. I mean, the other prediction was that Sour Blow had the Halo Battle Royale prediction. All of a sudden, the rumor just came up. Boop.
Oh yeah, that's one of the
Yeah.
topics we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
But the thing with Suicide Squad being canceled is not canceled. Excuse me, delayed.
Delayed.
Is it's if you think about it, right? Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad are both 4-player. It would kind of be weird to release the same. I get it; they're two different, Suicide Squad, but they're kind of two superhero games. And that would be like EA when they did the Battlefield and Titanfall in the same month.
Yes.
Where you kind of cannibalize and put out one game to kind of suffer. And from Suicide Squad looks ambitious. So, extra time in the oven is always good. And I just want to know when they announce Gotham Knights for Game Pass. I want to make that prediction. I keep making it. So I keep saying that. I'm telling you guys, and I feel like if it happens, it happens, and I feel that game is perfect for Game Pass.
Guys,
that's that kind of like one moment.
Joanna Dark just confirmed it.
I did not. I did not.
That's another thing.
So please, whoever's. So I'm gonna go right now, probably on Twitter, and be like, "Hey, Xbox, employee of Xbox just confirmed Gotham Knights. Yeah,
yep.
Good job.
I'm gonna clip it too.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, right? Just looking at the two, because we've got Suicide Squad that's done by Rocksteady, right?
Yeah.
So I would imagine the financial deal to get that one onto Game Pass would probably be pretty substantial. I think between the two, if there was actually going to be going to Game Pass, I think it would be the Gotham Knights one. It makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Jay Vargas made a point here that I think we were talking about. And he says, "Do you think Suicide Squad was delayed for a potential purchase by one of the big companies?"
Oh.
I mean,
yes,
we've seen weirder stuff, right? We saw Diablo get delayed, but of course, that's a different situation all with Activision. I mean, is it a good theory to entertain? Yeah, or maybe again, who knows? We also understand it.
Listen, maybe I'm like Phil Spencer's.
Remember, WB has gone through some things. Warner Media has gone through a lot of things. Remember, they're still trying to get into a merger with, I think, Discovery. And that's still going. So you also have to understand there's a lot of more things in the background. I mean, does this mean I would love for that? But who knows? But we can definitely, they're saying Hogwarts Legacy is still there. And thanks you to Dutch for saying that he clipped that already. With the whole thing. I didn't confirm anything.
He said, post it in Recetera for extra sauce. Ooh, I don't know what Recetera is, but it sounds sexy.
Oh, I know.
What's Recetera?
Reset Era, yeah.
Reset Era.
What is
Reset
that,
Era.
Oh my God. He just basically threw me to the lions, basically.
We'll
he basically
later,
just threw me
Chris.
there. It's like the Thunderdome.
What? I forget, what was it before Reset Era? There was something right before it. It was 4chan? Is that right?
Yeah, 4chan. That's where Sour Blow goes.
Yeah,
to get his haircuts. But anyway, it's Eternal Umbra said if Phil and MS acquired WB Games. Wasn't there like some rumor, I think last week, that I just said, hey, look at this thing. And it was something about DC is bleeding money and how DC might be looking to get purchased, and that would make a good thing in the sense of maybe acquiring the Batman IP.
Oh,
Listen, if that happens,
sorry to jump in.
Oh, go ahead.
Eternal corrected me. It was NeoGAF. It wasn't 4chan.
Okay, NeoGAF. Okay.
If that happens,
thank you for the correction.
If that happens, that will complete my trifecta right there. And I would literally put a poster somewhere. I don't know where, but I will make a space for a poster for Phil Spencer somewhere in my shelf, because those are my three heroes right there: Arthas, Master Chief, and Batman.
And Phil Spencer.
And Phil Spencer will be the fourth.
Phil Dominus Maximus.
That would be my 4 pillars.
But where would you put Sarah Bond? You forgot Sarah Bond.
Oh,
I'll make space for her too. I'll make space for them. I'll put
maybe
all
you
of
throw
them
away
there.
that
Adam Greenberg.
I'll
put Jason Brano. I'll put everyone there. Hey, don't talk about Sea of Thief like that. Anyway, let's go back to Ghostwire Tokyo. And I know you're excited to talk about it, Joanna.
You're going to Crazy Lou, man. We know you're a little trolling.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead, Crazy.
What do you want me to say about Ghostwire Tokyo? I've not seen anything. All I know is that this guy's
it's
making
whack.
it.
The game is whack, right?
Oh, of course. The guy that makes what's his game called? I forgot. Evil Within, right?
Yeah.
Evil Within?
Yes.
The guy who does Evil Within is making that game.
Shinji Mikami.
What's his name?
Is it Shinji Mikami? Shinji Mikami.
Shinji Mikami.
Shinji
Mikami. Yeah. I mean, I know he does pretty awesome games, and tomorrow we're finally gonna see gameplay. I mean, I'm really excited because I love his work. I love his stuff. He does awesome stuff.
Well, they showed a little bit of gameplay, I believe.
What did we see though? We saw like the hand and the scary face, and that's it.
It'll be nice to see a full presentation.
Yes.
Finally. Now let's go to let's see what Joanna wants to say. But before he says anything, real quick, I don't know. The game doesn't really grab my attention that much, but I am interested. I'm intrigued to see what happens. So anyway, let's go to the next. Oh no, sorry. Go ahead, Joanna. Say what you have to say.
I'm excited. I love the Evil Within. I love Tango Gameworks, and Ghostwire Tokyo has been one of those weird but games that have kind of just grown, and I'm excited to see more tomorrow. According to the blog, it's supposed to come out next month as well. I think March 24th. So I definitely want to see. Of course, this is not coming to probably till 2023 for Xbox users, because this is another one of those time exclusives before the whole purchase. But I definitely want to see what he's been working. I mean, this game was shown. It had, if you guys remember, it had that really kind of upbeat developer. I forgot her name, but everybody loved her. She became a sensation overnight. And then all of a sudden, something happened, and she stepped down as the creative lead. And things were saying that she was basically going to be the successor to Shinji Mikami. But we don't know what happened there. And now we have him doing this game with this team. So I'm just excited to see. I hope it in this review tomorrow, we get more kind of into the weeds, kind of like the systems, and kind of a little bit more. Because from what I've seen so far has been these trailers. I've gotten a feel, but not really a good feel. I know it's in first person. So I definitely want to know the kind of vibe. It gave me kind of Tokyo Ghoul. I don't know if you guys watched that anime, Tokyo Ghoul.
I've seen it.
And the reason I'm saying it is just, I guess, the art style and the way it kind of looks weird and kind of that world. So
a little bit.
I'm excited.
A little bit.
I'm going to be there tomorrow watching it on that stream and be like, all right, good to go.
It's good. It's going to be pretty cool.
Okay. I know you're excited about Ghostwire, but another game that I know you're even more excited. Talk about the Sea of Thief. Come on, Joanna Dark. I know you're excited to talk about it.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week. Let's go to sleep.
Oh, God. There we go.
You got nothing to say? Nothing to say about Sea of Thief?
Of course. So, Sea of Thieves have their 2022 content, right? Update last week, and they showed.
Be careful what you say. I'll send it to Rare.
And one of the cool things is Sea of Thieves continues to get a lot of content. So to kind of clear up the air, because I pushed a button. As you can see, Sour Blow has not gotten over it. So I originally beta tested, alpha tested Sea of Thieves a long time ago as a Microsoft employee, and
that doesn't even count.
And at the time, I thought it was a cool idea. I got into it. I like Rare. I like the idea of just selling. And then I even played the game on launch. And again, were there modes there that I had fun with friends? Sure. And since then, the game has turned it around a lot, especially with the Captain Jack Sparrow and the whole collaboration with Disney. So I think this new content has a lot of the people that play the game every day excited. So I think that's what Sour Blow wants me to say. But the thing is, I say it out of the fact that it's the truth. I have nothing against Sea of Thieves, like I said before, right? Not every game is going to be for everyone, right? Some people don't like Destiny.
I
like Destiny, right?
100%.
Sea of Thieves puts me to sleep when I have insomnia. That's cool. That's fine. That's for me. So, hey, Sourblot, I know you have something to say, but you know what? Hey, what do you think about that, Crazy Lou?
Nope. I'm the host. Hold on. Hold on. Before I pass the mic on, I want to explain a little bit of what Sea of Thieves is bringing.
We don't care. We know.
Hey, it's not your show today. It's not your show today. So anyway. Honestly, I'm super excited about Sea of Thieves, especially because what they're kind of bringing this 2022 is kind of what I wanted from the beginning. Mm-hmm. What they're gonna do is they're gonna bring in more stories, like kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean. The only thing these stories are gonna be like on the actual adventure world. And they're gonna be like every decisions you make and everything you do is gonna affect the whole like the whole world of the Sea of Thieves. And it's kind of like Dying Light 2 is doing, where the decisions you make is gonna affect the world, and the world is gonna evolve depending on what the community do, and it's gonna react to it. So I think that's a great step to it. They're gonna forget about Arena, which no one plays Arena. And, they're gonna focus on that. And they're bringing so much content. Like, I don't want to go on and off about it. But I'm pretty excited about it. Crazy, I know you play it. I know you just do it just to tease me, just to be on Mr. John's dark side. But on his opinion, what do you think about it?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I never followed the stories of Sea of Thieves. I know you guys like to follow it, but I do enjoy the game. When I hop on with you guys, I love to, what I love to do? I love to gather the ammo, love to gather the wood, and put wood inside the ship, and I also love the ship fights, especially when we get into those awesome fights and killing Megalodon. What is it? Megalodon? I forgot the name. Megalodon. Yes, Megalodon. And also killing that Kraken, all that cool stuff. I mean, I have loads of fun with you guys when we play it. I do. Especially when the other day, we were on the ship, though. And no, we weren't on the ship. We were on an island. These guys, I was looking for stuff to take to the ship. It was like, oh, what is this? And he threw a firebomb on the ship and burned the ship down. He does that, guys. He does that. Sour Blow. If you give him the wheel of the ship.
Not true.
Yeah, Forza, if you see our trailer, you see how he drives.
Forza, I admit I'm horrible, but not true in Sea of Thieves. But anyway.
Dude, guys, one day Sour Blow put the ship on top of an island. I don't know how he did it, but he got it on top of an island.
He was on top of the mountain?
Yeah, he got the ship on top of the mountain. I don't know what he did with the game, but he got the ship on top of the mountain. No joke.
I think that's when Rare had to shut the servers down. They're like, how does this guy do this?
How does this guy do this? Yeah.
So, I don't know if Brian wants to comment on it. I know he doesn't like that.
Brian's game. Like, do you really want me to talk about this game?
I apologize, Sour, because I'm on your good graces right now. No, I just, it's just like the Gran Turismo situation. It's just like Destiny. It's like, I've tried. I really honestly have tried to play some of these games and get into them.
Did you get past the press start?
Yes, I did. You know what? I want to say I probably have like 5 to 8 hours. It's not much, but I did a little bit. No, I will give it. The visuals are really, really striking. Like, yes, it's all that cartoon visual and stuff, but when you are sailing on the water and you see that water, my God,
yeah,
that water looks amazing.
Have you tried the Pirates of the Caribbean expansion or no?
So this is where I probably put another mark right next to my name for you. I intended on doing it. I did not get to it. You know, it came at a time when I had a bunch of other games I was playing.
Sourblow's about to cry.
Nah. No, I'm just
sorry.
curious to see, because the game has evolved a lot from, its beginning. So
yes, and I will give it that. Honestly, if I jumped into it now, it probably would help a lot to see where it's at now versus the last time I jumped into it. The Pirates of the Caribbean stuff looked really cool. I just didn't get a chance to do it. I just, life took over, other games took over, and I remembered what the game was when I first played it. And it was just, it felt like it was a lot of from A to B, some quick fetch quests, and that was kind of it. And it just, it was really hollow when I was playing it. Yeah. So I'm sure if I jumped into it now, it'd be a different experience.
Yeah, way different experience. But let's jump to the next topic. Certain Affinity, is that correct? That's how you pronounce it? Yeah. They're rumored to be working on a Monster Hunter game and also on a Halo Battle Royale, which was something that I mentioned, I believe, was it last week?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago.
I played the new mode and I thought, the clues were there. That's the direction they're going. They're going to add that mode. So let's start with Crazy. What do you think first about a possible Monster Hunter game? And then let us know about Halo Battle Royale. What do you think?
I think there's a question for what's his name, for Silent Cypher. Wasn't it, if MS has a choice between locking down TR for 100 million or developing its own IP, it'll develop its own IP. That's a question for you. I think it was, Brian.
Wait, what now?
Sorry. It says if MS has a choice between locking down TR for 100 million or developing its own IP, it'll develop its own IP. I don't know what he's talking about. What's TR though? TR is.
I assume he's talking Tomb Raider. Hold on. Where is this?
It's right here by Edward.
Yeah, Edward Lafferty.
Yeah, he says if MS has a choice between locking down TR for 100 million, I'm thinking he's saying Tomb Raider because that's the only TR I can think about.
Yeah.
Or developing its own IP, it'll develop its own IP. I think what he's trying to say is that if they had a choice of purchasing something, they'd rather just reinvest it and develop their own IP.
Yeah. Tomb Raider's kind of that one's kind of a tricky situation, right? Because Microsoft ended up doing those couple games where they had the 1-year exclusives and they got so much blowback from so many people for it. Personally for me, I was happy because generally, like we've said, I am more of an Xbox consumer. And so when that was announced, like it didn't bother me, but I could definitely see the frustration of it being locked behind that 1-year mark. And I do wonder, like, if it makes me wonder if they picked up Square, if that would be, if they picked up some of the devs from Square, if they would actually jump into that, or if they would use as support for some of their mainstays, some of their main IPs to start off with. If that makes sense, if that answers the question somewhat.
I think I like Crystal Dynamics. But my thing is, I think I was saying this on Boom Show, if you buy Crystal Dynamics, there's 2 reasons why you buy them. One, maybe because you want, like you were just saying, you want more of the talent, right? But at that point, why don't you just pouch the talent instead of giving Square any money? You just pouch the talent. I would want, if I do buy Crystal D, give me Tomb Raider, give me Gex, so I can have another mascot and pair him with Spyro. And even Eidos Montreal, would love to see Eidos Montreal come, and then we get the Deus Ex license and then give it to Arcane. Or let Eidos make it, because Eidos still made a great game. It's just, they ruined it with those microtransactions.
I see where he's talking about now. Yeah, so we were talking about the fact that, like, potentially if they did some of those like longer exclusive windows and stuff like that, maybe that would be a good solution at the moment. Obviously the ActiBliz merger is going to go through potentially. And so at the moment, you're not going to do really big high profile purchases if you're Microsoft, because you've already got a massive one. You've got a almost $70 billion purchase going. So I was saying that potentially maybe the solution to that, if they want to continue getting some more acquisition stuff going, I didn't mention it in the chat, but I think smaller companies, like smaller devs like IOI, stuff like that, but also potentially maybe you just start locking down stuff like what Sony did with Final Fantasy. You say, okay, here's a 2 or 3 year window. We're going to pay you for this time frame and exclusivity. And
I don't think
doubt.
Phil has made it clear that he's no longer going to make those deals.
Yeah,
So
I don't
if
think he wants.
anything, I think they're doing the smart thing, which kind of ties into this subject. I know people were asking questions. Is Certain Affinity, right?
Yes.
They've worked with Certain Affinity, and
Yes.
now what they're doing is say, hey, Certain Affinity, could you make us a game that's similar? Maybe doesn't have to be similar in the vein of a Monster Hunter game. And to me, what I look at that is kind of what Edward was saying, is that instead of saying, hey, I'm going to go buy Lara Croft, let me make my own Lara Croft.
Yes.
Similar to Certain Affinity. Hey, if for some reason Capcom and Sony say, hey, Sony says, hey, I want to buy the exclusivity to the next Monster Hunter game on PlayStation. Phil is filling in the gaps in the portfolio to make sure that they have games that are similar to give the Xbox audience those experiences. Even though, hey, Monster Hunter is a known name, we have something for you similar. It's not called Monster Hunter, but it's same vein.
So while I would agree that, obviously the ship has changed and their approach anymore, or they're not really keen on that approach, I would say if anything has been taught to us over the last year is that you never say never.
Yeah.
Right? Like it could happen in a situation like this. I think that's why I come at this with maybe a different approach, is just, you've just dropped 70 million is what the intent is for ActiBliz. So if the potential is like, okay, we could buy some of these companies, but we're going to have scrutiny because we've already just bought an entire developer, right? Or like a publisher or whatever. I wonder if this is a way for them to still lock in some of those companies and eventually, right, like do a 1 or a 2 year, but then at the end of that you end up purchasing them, which would put you out of that window of the ActiBliz merger.
Well,
I think that's the only thing I'd bring.
If you look at the projects, right, that they have, you have Avalanche with Contraband. You have IO doing Project Dragon, which is supposed to be that other game. You have now Certain Affinity. You have all these things through Microsoft Publishing that you're right. They could probably right now, hey, this is a way of saying, hey, let's try you out. Let's see how you work with it, as a team, as a group. And then once they built that relationship, kind of pulling it back to kind of what I heard today with Jim Ryan, that when they purchase, they have a history, meaning they've worked with that team for a while and it sees how they fit into their overall. It can be a way, you're right, a stopgap to kind of say, hey, they just said it this week, right? We saw people like Jeff Grubb saying, hey, even Sony saying we're not finished. We're not finished with purchases. So who knows what's in the pipeline with other small devs and everything. So
this year, I think if there's anything to take away from it, also, like, again, never say never, but also assume that this is definitely not the last time we see ridiculous acquisitions and announcements, right? This year is probably going to be ridiculous, and we just hit February. So it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting. Real quick, just adding, I think that Microsoft right now, with the IP they're going to own after Activision Blizzard, I don't think they're going to go to any studios to purchase them for the IPs unless it's something like, for example, they want to get into the Japanese or the Asian market, something that they know that's big over there, that will help them, establish themselves over there, or something like, like they mentioned in the chat, like Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, IPs like that really have, a name to themselves. But something, even though, other IPs like Tomb Raider, sure, they're they have their fan base, but they're not that huge where they're like, they're gonna move so much the needles like, these superheroes. So I don't think they need to like waste money on those IPs. Kind of like Joanna Dark said, let's make our own version of them.
But one of the things that I did that I know why people want WB, and I'm a big proponent of that as well, is let's look at, we were talking at the beginning of the show, right? We were talking about what makes sense that each company needs, right? What does Sony do besides just video games? Movies,
yes.
right? And one of the things that struck me was, sorry, it's crazy.
TVs,
music,
stereo,
yep.
So cameras, phones, sometimes
anime. Anime now.
So movies, right? Movies. Yeah. So one of the things that Bungie said was, "Hey, we want to maybe make that Destiny movie, right? Because we have it with Sony, right? We have The Last of Us coming out. So what WB does, in addition to give you those great DC IPs, along with everything else Rocksteady, is that Warner Media also has a way into the movies, right? HBO Max. And what if with that collaboration, hey, we got King making mobile, now we have WB on HBO Max. Hey, Gears of War, coming. Sea of Thieves, limited series because you'll fall asleep, coming in 2025, whatever. And you have this WB Media here, Warner Media, helping you now bring your IPs to entertainment. Again, everyone's talking about the metaverse, right? How they can get all these type of different things and of the things you love. And I think the reason people also talk about WB is because that kind of looks like the final thing that would help Microsoft as well say, hey, Sony, you're doing movies. Oh, we got somebody here that knows how to do it as well. And they have a platform as well. And
one other thing is, if you look at Microsoft right now, they're not building these movies or series. However, they are, other companies are using their IPs. Look at the Halo TV series, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. I believe there's an Elder Scroll series coming out too. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Amazon is making it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Fallout is being done by Amazon.
Okay.
Yes, Fallout is being adapted.
What happened to this movie?
But there's an Elder Scroll. There's something with Elder Scroll coming out.
Was it a movie or a TV show? From Borderlands. What were they making? A movie or a TV show?
Yeah. They're making a movie. Borderlands is making a movie. That's coming out as well. They have that.
Yes.
Yeah, they have a Borderlands movie there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Borderlands, we have. I think this month we have the Uncharted. I got my nice little $10 ticket. I'm just gonna give it over, because I'm just gonna be like, all right, cool. Check it out, see what's up. Uncharted we have. Then we have, of course, whenever The Last of Us comes out, that's gonna be another TV show. So I'm excited. The Last of Us has me excited as a TV show, especially on the HBO. Unfortunately, I can't get past Uncharted and seeing the fact that Tom Holland doesn't look like Nathan Drake. Well, no, it's more, I would say, Mark Wahlberg doesn't look like Sully. And it's not even that. It's Mark Wahlberg that doesn't look like Sully.
Yeah,
that just bothers me.
And then you have Peter Parker as as Nathan Drake. That's how I
don't think that bothers me as much as seeing Mark Wahlberg Sully. It just doesn't. I want Nathan Fillion. I would have loved.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Is I think it bothers me more that Nathan Fillion isn't involved in this project because he seems like he'd be a perfect shoe-in.
Yeah, and he did that short movie to kind of say, "Hey, I wanted to be in Uncharted." And it just, I can't see Mark Wahlberg as Scully, man. I just can't. That bothers me even more.
Yeah,
it's going to be it's going to be like, hey, Mikey, a transformer. Oh, look, we're going out of the airplane now.
So anyway,
thank you, Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg on XBI.
say hi to your mother for me.
So anyway,
all the way from Boston.
Just how you fish. Just how you fish and see a thief. Let me bring it back. Crazy.
I know how to fish in Final Fantasy 15. So please.
Crazy. Tell me what do you think about the whole Monster Hunter and possible Halo Battle Royale?
What do you think about the whole Monster Hunter Impossible Halo Battle Royale? Well, the Monster Hunter thing is pretty good because I'm gonna be honest with you, it's good that again, you see the console war stuff. I don't care about the console war. I'd rather have games compete against each other because if this game has this, the other one's gonna get better, and then this one's gonna get better. That's what I want. I want games to have the war, not console wars. Because
Yes.
console wars doesn't get me anywhere. And yes, and so if they're gonna make a good game, Monster Hunter game, seriously, make it. And I hope it's really good so it can compete against Monster Hunter. So that way they have a competition because right now Monster Hunter's out there alone, man. Really. It's a pretty good idea though. Pretty good
Yeah,
idea.
most. Do you
I'm
think
excited
Halo
for that.
needs a battle royale, or do you not like the idea?
Let me tell you something though. I mean, uh it's easy though. If it does need a battle royale though, of course, multiplayer games need to catch up with the times. And right now, it's a good move though. I mean, I'll be happy if Halo did get its battle royale, and they can do it like ODST style, something like that. I don't know, but if it does though, I'm playing it. I'm gonna be one of the guys that's gonna play it because it's. I love battle royales. I'm a big fan of battle royales. I mean, I love to play PUBG. Sometimes with the fellas, I love to play Call of Duty, and yeah, having a Halo battle royale is gonna be pretty cool. With all these weapons and stuff, it's gonna be
It's gonna be
pretty
insane.
awesome. Yes, it's gonna
Um,
be insane.
what about you,
Especially
Brian? Oh, you
especially
just
since the
wasn't.
worlds
Sorry.
are big though. You
Yeah.
know, like their
Imagine
maps are
bigger
big.
maps, like
Wow.
two
Bigger
with.
maps and the vehicles and stuff like that. Oh man,
Oof.
bazookas and everything, that would be pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
What
With a
about
battle royale.
All right.
you, Brian? What do you
I'm
think?
I'm gonna be the angry old man yelling at the sky in this situation, because uh, yes, I love battle royale. You know, I've really enjoyed PUBG. I enjoyed Warzone. However, if their battle royale feels like the big team battle, where I just feel like I'm not doing anything for a long period of time when I'm playing that match. I don't know if I'm really up for it. As long as they keep the pacing right, yeah. Like as long as they learn from Warzone, they learn from Apex, they learn from PUBG. They take what those guys have learned and they utilize it for their version. I'm all for it. But I think the thing that makes me nervous is, honestly, I don't know if we need bigger maps than some of the ones that are on Halo right now if we were doing a battle royale. Some of those maps are big already, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
some of them seem pretty
but
good.
yeah, but remember when you play battle royale, the map is gonna be pretty big, so you can land over here, land over there, grab your gear,
now,
and head inside. You know, you gotta be pretty
now
big though.
I don't know if you have
Ooh.
heard. This is a rumor, okay? But I heard something about they're aiming for 300 people in the battle royale. That sounds insane.
Jesus. Wow. I mean,
See,
if they aim for 300 people, oh,
what?
that's gonna be the longest battle royale in the world. I mean, you gotta drive to meet somebody and kill them. It's gonna be
Yeah.
huge.
Okay, so correct me. Maybe you have the info on this one. What was Warzone? It was 150 or was it 200?
I don't know, honestly.
So I think it was right between 150 and 200 on that one. If I remember correctly, maybe it was less. So the idea is
Maybe the
even
chat.
scarier. It's even scarier there. The idea of having 300 people on a map.
Oh Lord.
It would be fun, yes, but it would
They
also
use
be
the
like,
flood. They use the flood as kind of the thing that comes after you.
I mean,
It'll
yeah,
be interesting
yeah.
because all the vehicles and all the the weapons Halo got, it will kind of make it different. But I don't know if that's too much.
Jesus Christ, that's 75 squads in one match. Only if it's a 4-person squad,
See,
that's 75 squads right there.
see,
The
I-
normal one, the normal is 25, which is 100. 75. Oh my God, that's big. That's really big.
that's why I'm a little nervous. It's the thing is 100 on PUBG. I feel like was plenty enough.
Yeah.
Then Warzone, I think they did bump it up. I think maybe it was 150. And that worked. Honestly, they made it work. But 300 to double that number?
But what if they do this? What if they do this? The 300 divided by 12 as big team battle, and you have squads of 12. That would be 25. That kind of might change things around.
You could do it, but more than anything, I think the thing that worries me, right, is, okay, if you're going to have 300 people in that match, what size is that map?
Yeah.
Like you're going to be playing like Battlefield, Battle Royale, where like you don't see anyone for like 10 minutes and then you get killed and then you respawn and then you have to do it again. I that's the only thing I worry about is what is the size of the map we're talking?
Yeah.
If we're going to do that many people.
It's got to be huge, though. It's got to be huge.
It would have to be massive. Yeah, and that worries me. I feel like that 100 to 150 is the sweet spot.
Yeah. But what about you, Joanna? Do you have anything to confirm, just like you did earlier today?
It's exciting. And I think all of you made a good point. What if they're building these maps specifically for this mode? To fit the amount of, that's a lot, 300 people for a battle royale.
That's a lot.
How it would work. And I guess, what hook are they bringing? I definitely, battle royale's been done. And I think the one thing that gets me excited is how are they, innovating or maybe making their own that kind of, aligns with Halo. So that's why I brought the flood up. What if you, at some point the flood just starts attacking you and going after you?
Lord.
Crazy. And in crazy, or maybe it's the other way around, right? It's not exactly 300 players. It's still 100, but the amount of enemies that come to overrun you is that remaining one to kind of push you to kind of go together. So it's exciting. I think this is a way of kind of that plan that they have for Halo, because again, this is a 10-year plan, right? It's a live service game. And it's great to see that they're already putting the foundations to what they want to do next, right? We still haven't got co-op, which is going to help with a lot of people that want to play on Legendary and want to play with their friends, right? After they probably just completed their campaign or waited. Then we have a lot of things they've been doing on the multiplayer side, fixing some of the things that people are complaining about. And they're going to continue to evolve it. So if you give us a mode like a Battle Royale mode, that's pretty cool. That's going to bring also those people that play the Fortnites, that play PUBG. I'm not going to ask Lou because I'm not going to ask him. I'm pretty sure I know the answer that he would love to be a naked Spartan. So
hell yeah. I want to be that's the way to intimidate the enemy. No clothes on, it makes them laugh. Nope,
that's it. On to the next. But yeah, so it's exciting. At the Certain Affinity, like I said before, if you want someone to build multiplayers, the other ones, I mean, they work with them in the original Halos, they made maps for Halo. So definitely excited to see what's up with this. And then that whole fact that there's kind of spreading their legs to make a Monster Hunter like game, it's exciting. So we have a lot of games that are going to be great for the service, because the key thing is engagement, right? So you want to keep that content that brings people back to Game Pass when it comes to these type of games.
Yeah, real quick, I'm gonna refer to a game that Mr. Joanna Dark likes to call the NFT game. However,
oh my God, why are we talking about fake games here, man?
However,
people love playing games.
But listen to me. They had a mode.
It's called Starfield. You want to play Starfield?
They have a mode called Theaters mode, where they kind of there's 3 aspects of the mode that you got to do 3 different things, and that kind of give you like a target, like you got to go do certain thing. What if they do something like that in Halo, where they kind of push the team, the teams have to go to a certain area to do, something, a certain mission or whatever, and that will maybe get the game going. That way it doesn't become like a 2-3 hour game, playthrough, it shortened the time. They could come with creative idea. I hope they don't just do a copy, like do a battle royale similar to like what everyone else does. I hope they they bring new ideas, and sure, some of the ideas might not work out and they might have to fix over time, but I hope they they are a little bit creative and you know, just not do what everyone else is doing.
Thank you for giving us a fake game, you know, how you would want to build it. So thank you so much for wasting our audience time on a game that doesn't exist. But, you know, continue, Sourblue.
There were interesting things about it, but yes, unfortunately the game seems
if I tell the chat, do you like to play games that actually exist in real life that you can go and play, or do you like to play, or do you like to hear about like fantasies?
You can play it though.
Where?
You can play it
Where? In your mind?
No, your computer. You can play it.
What computer? What computer plays Star Citizen that I know of?
You can play the alpha mode, which you can do several things. Oh, I haven't. Well, I don't have it installed anymore. But
so this is see, Crazy Lou. This is how imaginary friends start.
But you can actually get it. You can actually pay for your ship, and you can play it.
So you pay for the ship that doesn't exist. So I pay some company, and I have a ship apparently.
You can use the ship in the game. Well, the alpha.
Anyway,
yeah, I have played with it. I did play with it. Okay, but anyway,
nobody. Hey, I want you to post your game score on this game.
Anyway, speaking about Halo, what do you guys think about the Halo trailer, the Halo movie trailer? Let's start with you, Johannes.
I'm gonna say, man, it looked good to me.
Yes.
And I want to guess where it's happening. I think this is gonna be like a vignette of Master Chief's kind of adventures, right? We're not gonna see the Covenant War, but what I'm interested is, are we gonna see more of the Spartan 2s? And I think this is where the timeline takes place. During the time when the Spartan 2s were in, we kind of see a little bit of hints where, the person comes in, where are you humanity's, best weapon? And and it sounds like they're surprised that they're helping them, because remember, the Spartans were made to stop the resistance originally until the Covenant came in. So it looks dope. I'm excited to see it. Good thing that I signed up cheap for Paramount Plus, so I definitely gonna be able to watch it on there. If not, I'll find a way to watch it.
We'll find a way to watch it.
But it's definitely the quality. I like the way it looked. I mean, I was kind of praying of like, please don't let the Covenant look like it looked in the other movie with Locke, that they look really bad.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see, the Covenant.
I was like, I hope they don't look like the Muppets from the movies. But yeah, so I'm definitely, porn stash as Master Chief. I think he did a good job. So I don't know. I
have a question for you, but I'm gonna leave it for later on. To see if maybe maybe one of the other panel members have the same question.
One thing. Thank you, Eternal Umbra. That's why we love you. He does not consider what you were talking about. That's why Brian left, because you were talking about a fake game. Star Citizen.
That's why I always leave.
Is this true, Brian?
As soon as we start talking about fake gaming, I'm out.
Well, let's
go.
Sour.
Let me tell you about a ship that doesn't exist.
Let's go with True Brian. You know I could disable your video right now, right?
I mean, at least that would be real if you did that.
Brian, what did you think about the Halo trailer?
So, a couple things, and again, it's angry man. It's angry old man just yelling at the sky. But one, Master Chief's voice. Come on, like I know you're not going to get Steve Downs. I get it. That's fine. But there are plenty of people with gravelly voices that you could bring in as
David
Master
Hayter?
Chief. Yes, 100%. If I had David Hayter as Master Chief, I'd be okay with that. I think that would be fun, honestly, especially since he got shortchanged on playing Snake in Metal Gear 5. But so that's my first thing. The other thing is it was really cool to have Cortana in there, but the face looked kind of weird. Which I get it. It's not going to look the same as the games and stuff, but it caught me off guard. It's I don't know. It wasn't my personal preference. I think that's just, again, I'm going into it as, okay, I've seen Cortana all these years in these games. Cortana's going to look like this. Master Chief's going to sound like this. Yeah, obviously that's not always going to be the case. So again, I say I'm just the old man just yelling at the sky, being like, "Oh, why can't things be the same?" and get off my lawn. But I think it'll be good. It looks promising. My son looked like he was interested in it when I showed him the trailer. Although he did pull the same thing as me and said, "Hey, why does Master Chief sound different? And why does Cortana look different?" So I guess I'm raising him right or I'm raising him wrong, depending on how you see it, I guess.
Real quick, shout out to my BFF, Mrs. Crazy. She's in the chat.
Hey.
Oh no!
Why you gotta do that? Now Crazy's nervous now.
Look at him. No wonder he was quiet. Look at him. He was looking
Let's
down.
go.
He was like ducking.
Let's
go.
rock.
And let's not be crazy.
Well, Crazy, what do you think about the trailer?
Oh man. You know what I'm really excited though that I can get Mrs. Crazy into Halo though. I mean I can't wait for I told her you're watching this. She saw it. She's like, "Hey, it looks cool." And I was like, "This is the game I love to play." She's like, "Okay." She said, "I'm really excited to watch it." So yeah, it's a good thing to. That's something I love when these things come up. Like for example, I remember when the Sonic movie came out. I told her, "You gotta watch this movie." She's like, "I don't want to watch it." I said, "You gotta watch this movie. It's hilarious. It's funny." And then her niece tells her, "You gotta watch Sonic." And she started watching and say, "Wow, I actually love it." I said, "Yeah, it's fun. Sonic is great." So this stuff gets people into gaming. Understand when we start talking about like if I sit down and talk to her, like, let's talk about Halo. I want to talk to you about the Covenant. I want to talk to you about all this stuff. She'll actually know about it from watching the series. So yeah. That's one thing I'm excited about. Another thing, it looks amazing.
It looks awesome.
I mean, the armor. When I saw the armor, I was like, man, I want that armor, man. I want to get that armor and just walk down the street and be like, "Hey, I am Master Chief. I want to get that armor." That armor looks so awesome. And the bad guys, the Covenant guys, the sword, the guns. Wow, everything was on dot. People are mad because Cortana is in blue, but hey, guys, I don't care about that. I like Cortana the way it is. Blue, the way she is, I don't care. As long as she does her role and does it well, the way that Cortana behaves, I'm down for it. Man, I am happy. And yeah, like what Silent Cypher said about the voice, though. The voice thing, yeah, I would rather have like the Master Chief voice, but let's see how it goes, though. Maybe
I would rather have Silent Cypher as Master Chief.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I need a weapon.
Yes.
Honestly, that's the thing is
There
there's enough gravel voiced folks out there that you could bring in. Like, how many people do you have to go through before you can find someone that says Cortana, right? Like, just find a pack a day or a 2-pack a day smoker, you're good. You're
Cortuna? Is it Cortuna?
Cortuna? Yeah. Cortana, I think, is what I heard.
I think they did this with the Darth Vader voice. I mean, there was a guy inside Darth Vader, and it was the
James
voice
Earl Jones was the voice.
Yeah. Was the voice for it? Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they could do that too, but oh well.
100%.
And
let's see how it goes, though.
Atlantic.
Something Silent. The other thing is, Master Chief. He has the helmet on, so it's no excuse. Like you can even have the same actor and have a voiceover in it, and people won't even, it'll be easy to do it.
I think what they want to do with this is they want to keep it. So I think what they want to do is kind of keep it, even though it's within the same universe, they want to keep them two different things. You have here an interpretation on the movie side of who's going to play Master Chief, and I get it. I understand exactly what you said. It would be nice, right? But we're gonna. I think what they're going here now is we're gonna see, like 343's been doing with Master Chief, is humanizing Chief, right? We're still going to keep Chief on the side that we have a helmet and you are the Master Chief, right? The way Become, right? And then on the show side, hey, we're going to see, hopefully explore more of John's origins from people that have read the books, how he started, how Halsey maybe, started the whole Spartan 2 program, I hope they dive into Oni, people forget about it, but, because of the Halo 5 lie of a marketing that they did, in the sense of, we thought Oni, which is like the CIA in that world, kind of, hunting. So I'm excited to see what they're going to explore with the show besides what we saw. I want to see Master Chief. I want to know the rest of Blue Team. I want to see how this whole thing came about, and then of course give us those great important parts in the Halo history with the Covenant War and everything else. I think if it jumps around again, what we can see, but I understand where they're going with that.
Can I give a shout out real quick?
Oh, of course.
All right,
Go ahead.
Yes.
So I just want to give a shout out to my son, who heard that we were talking about Halo, and he was like, "Oh, dude, I want to be on. I want to hear what they're talking about." So shout out to Sawyer. Nice. Happy that you could jump on. It's awesome, and he agrees with me. Like I said, he thinks the voice should be gravelly, which I did want to say on what you were saying.
Your dad, that'd be Master Chief. Put yes in the chat, please.
I get what you're saying, and I get that change. But again, I do maintain, like, you could still get someone with a gravelly voice, because it's not as jarring as bringing someone in who he just sounded too clean. You know, he sounded like he wasn't a grizzled vet. We're talking about a guy that's been in forever, right?
Here's another thing.
I got to put it for Silent Cypher real quick. Oh, you can go crazy, and then I'll go back.
I was gonna say something. I mean, they did something with the voice of what's this guy's name who did Bane in Batman.
I know you're talking about.
Oh, Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Tom Hardy.
Oh,
mumbles all. No, that's how he sounds in real life. Even in Venom, he's
I was born in the darkness.
No. You know the voice, right? You remember when he was talking with the mask on. Remember they had to upgrade the voice. So I mean they can do that. I mean the guy can do the show, and they can add the gravel voice like what Silent Cypher saying, which makes that's it. Nothing wrong with that. But when he puts that helmet on, he can talk like Master Chief. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta understand, right? So at certain points, our voice changes as we get older, right? We get, as we get older, sometimes we get deeper.
Exactly.
Right? So the way I'm looking at it in the logic, right? Going back to, let's talk about Metal Gear, right? Trust me, I wanted David Hayter back, right? But when you were looking Kojima was trying to do is we were looking at Big Boss at a point in his life where he'd sound more like Kiefer Sutherland than he sounds like Solid Snake. So we're talking about video game logic. The reason they might have gone with this is the fact that we have a younger Master Chief at the time. And this portraying that this is a younger John early in his career versus, like different Batmans we have, right? We have different Batmans, different eras. We're not going to have Batman that sounded from Nolan, the Batman that sounds in Matt Reeves, the Batman. So it's at different points. So if you want to see it that way, but I totally understand why you would still want to have Steve Downs.
However, the reason I will disagree with you on that, right, is because yes, I get what you're talking about as far as the chronology, right? But we saw Solid Snake as old Solid Snake in Metal Gear 4. Okay, so yes, we had Big Boss as old Snake, and we've got that that really grizzled voice. Yeah. But he did that in 4. Like you went from Metal Gear to Metal Gear. So, he was very flexible as far as his voice acting. You could have easily used David Hayter for both sides of it. I don't know if he ever detailed exactly as to why he changed it.
We should get him on the show.
Yeah.
Like, hey, are you under NDA? Give us the Metal Gear Solid show and give us the juiciness. There you go, David Hayter. If you're watching this,
he will jump right on it. But no, that's again, like if you ever listen, and sorry to go off on a tangent a bit, but David Hayter, when you listen to him do the Comic-Con panels, when you listen to things like that, he can still do a young Solid Snake versus an old Solid Snake versus Boss. He does that really well.
And why do you have to mention Keith Sutherland? Now I have the freaking Lost Boys song in my head right now.
See, and I'm all for Kiefer because again, I think I told you I'm going back through 24 again, so I'm very much Kiefer focused. Yeah. But again, I get the idea of them portraying a younger Master Chief.
Yeah.
But how young are we talking, right? Because you're still going to have that gravel to the voice. And this guy sounds like he is very, very innocent, very clean. He doesn't sound like he's gotten to the 2-pack a day Master Chief.
Well, yeah, because it's still early in his years of being augmented as a Spartan too. So,
okay.
Edward Lafferty actually have something interesting to say. He said, "Have the voice change later and give Master Chief like a throat injury."
Yeah.
They can do it that way. I guess.
He got throat punched by one of the Covenant.
One of the fake ships from Star Citizen.
Yes. A fake Star Citizen ship crashed into his neck.
Or enemies. Sorry.
Anyway, on my end, I'm not. I would like the Master Chief voice. However, I'm not that critique, and I'm fine with how Cortana look. So I'm fine with the trailer. I was blown away. I love how it looks. The question I have for Joanna or anyone that knows is, I noticed during the trailer when he, I think there's a point where he grabs, he touches like a Covenant ship. And then after that, he says he feels different and all that. Was that part of the canon, or did they change that up a little bit? I believe they changed that, right? It wasn't. That didn't happen.
What, like he touches the ship and he feels like something comes back to him or something?
He feels like, he's different, and like, he feels like more like, I don't know if the word is more powerful or, what exactly, but I don't know if you noticed that on the trailer.
Okay. I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm
trying. There's also like a worm lady there that somebody mentioned.
Yeah,
I was like, I gotta watch that.
I thought that was maybe the flood?
Yeah,
some way?
If that's the flood, I didn't like how it looked. If that's the flood,
I mean, all you saw was tentacles. That could be anything.
Yeah, true.
That could be Cthulhu.
True.
Brian's like, who's Cthulhu?
But
I know.
Well, anyway, time to move on.
Isn't that a movie, Cthulhu, or a game?
It's a story. Yeah. It's a story by H.P. Lovecraft, and then it's been adopted into video games. The Sinking City is a great game. I would recommend it.
We're approaching the 2 hours. However, what I'm gonna do, there's 2 topics I'm gonna go through quick. I'm just gonna mention them so we can focus on the financials. What do you guys think? You cool with that?
Sure.
Okay, so
let's talk about Dying Light. Are you guys excited about Dying Light?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I am excited. I am excited for Dying Light. I mean, I can't wait to play Dying Light because it's been a while. And
I'm not gonna play it because it had a 7 review, and
okay, whatever. Go back to playing your fake games that never get reviewed.
That's how some people
play with your
act.
fake ships.
If they don't get a 9, they don't play. But whatever. Anyway, Xbox cancels your account if your account is inactive after a while.
Oh man, I can't play games anymore.
This comes basically like if you have a Game Pass account or you have a Gold account and you have months and months without using it. I don't know if from now on or when does this start, they're just gonna cancel your account. That way you don't waste money on on subscription that you might not want, or you don't even know that you're paying for them. The other thing is MLB The Show was announced for Game Pass, and then we also have the first wave of February of games announced for Game Pass. Real quick, going through the panel. Brian, is there any game in particular that you're excited from that has been announced?
Can you remind me what ones are coming into Game Pass?
Let me,
because I do not have the list in front of me.
Let me pull it off. Pull it on real quick.
Hold on.
You have Edge of Eternity that starts on the 10th.
Right.
Ones that we know. We have Crossfire X now, which is going to be the first part of the story. I guess there's 2 parts of the story.
I got the list right here if you want me to go through it.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Crossfire X. We got that's coming only to console. And it's only I believe the first chapter of the story.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Correct. Okay, yeah.
The prologue, probably.
The prologue.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't know. Then we have Besieged coming to cloud, console, and PC. We got Dreamscaper coming to cloud, console, and PC. We got Edge of Eternity also coming to everything. We got Infernax coming to everything. We got Skull, the Hero Slayer. Oh, School the Hero Slayer. Coming to everything. Telling Lies coming to
good,
everything. We got Ark, the Ultimate Survivor Edition. Is that a DLC or is that like a kind of like a Ultimate Edition?
Most likely.
No, it's Ark 2. It's Ark 2.
That's
that would be Ark 2.
because the Ultimate Survivor Edition
isn't that's supposed to come out this year, but I think that might get delayed.
But Ark has been in Game Pass for a long.
Yeah, but this one is the Ultimate Survivor Edition. So I don't know if this is like
comes with all the extra DLC and stuff.
So that means more clothes. You can't run around naked.
Why do you always have to
Of course. Of course, this is where we're going.
We got The Last Kid on Earth.
That looks cool. That's like it looks like Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but in 3D.
I want to play that. I want to play that then if it looks like that.
Okay.
And then we have Contrash, which is the first Compulsion game. It's coming to cloud and console. Yeah. So, what do you think, Brian? Any game excites you?
So I'll make it quick for you since you had to go through all that. Crossfire, I'm interested in giving it a shot. I would love to see how that campaign turns out. From initial impressions, it kind of sounds like maybe it's a miss, which is unfortunate because I really like Remedy's stuff generally. The other one that pops out to me as we go forward, so Telling Lies, I bought that a while ago. I've been meaning to go to it. So obviously they didn't catch me on that one. I already bought that one. But I've heard a lot of really good things with it. Ark, not for me. Last Kids on Earth. As soon as you talk Zombies Ate My Neighbors, you're speaking my language. I loved Zombies Ate My Neighbors growing up. I played that sucker so much on SNES and, other options as time went on.
And I have it in my Super Nintendo Mini, man.
Yeah,
and it's on Switch right now.
And I've got it on Xbox right now too. And awesome. I love going back to that game. I forget how long that game is, and I forget how bad the sequel is. But Contrast, also, that's a really good game. That came out at the very beginning of last gen, if I remember correctly.
That was a PS4 game that came out as as a PS Plus game when you purchased your PS4.
Yep. And then eventually it came over to Xbox. It was a really cool game. Like I really liked the visual approach that they went with that game. And I still honestly I've never been back to it. I bought it. I just have not been back to it. But when I played it at my friend's house, it was really good. Like I enjoyed what they did with it. I thought it was a really cool idea. So that's all I got.
Okay, real quick, I'm gonna mention mine, and then I'm gonna let Joanna handle real quick the show because I'm gonna go do something pretty quick. But anyway, I want
to play Star Citizen.
Yes, I am. No. Anyway, I'm excited to play Contrast. I'm interested to see how that game is. I have never played it. I also am interested in jumping into a school. Actually, the other day I saw it had like a big discount, and I was in the fence to buying it, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because now I can play it on Game Pass.
Kind of like Vanguard, I didn't buy it. I'm like, it's coming soon. Later.
Yeah. And Edge of Eternity, and of course Crossfire X. I do want to try it. So I might try it, and then if I like it, then I might just go for the purchase. But those are the 4 games I'm most interested in playing right now. The other ones, I don't know much about them except maybe Ark. But I have to see them, before or maybe just try them for a little bit and then I'll make my decision. So I'll go with you, Joanna Dark. I'll leave you real quick and I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, from this list, some great list. One of the things that I'm going to say is Dreamscaper. I don't know if you've seen this game, but it's like a Dark Souls, but it has another thing to it where you kind of go into this town and then you jump into dreams. It's one of the ones that I was going to buy on early access, and I'm happy to see that I waited. And it's not coming to the platform, so I can definitely jump in. It's a really good game. Crossfire X. I'm ready to jump in. I love Remedy. I was saying it the other day. It reminds me of Crisis a little bit, but again, it's on Game Pass. If I like the first chapter, I'll probably invest on the second chapter. They said that it's like, I don't know, you get paid like $20 or whatever, and we'll see what's up with that. Or I can always wait and it comes to Game Pass. And the other game that I want, Telling Lies is another good one. Edge of Eternity. It's a game that's been on my Steam wish list for ages. It's made by I think ex-developers. I think of that were on Square, and it literally looks like Final Fantasy, which is a good thing. And it's one that I'm happy that I waited as well, and I can't wait to kind of jump in. And another JRPG that's there on the list. Then Contrast, I already played it, so unfortunately, may I be visited? Probably, but I think the other one is the Last Kids on Earth because of the whole fact that I do like Zombies Ate My Neighbors. What about you, Crazy? What calls you do not say Leisure Suit Larry, because that's not a game.
Hey, I'm not making fake games like Star Citizen, so no worries.
Go.
Oh, me? What games I gonna play? Well, I'm gonna try the Crossfire X and there's one called what was it? Trinity, right? Trinity, is it the Triangle of Trinity, something like that? What's the game called? I saw it, and also the one you just mentioned that the
Edge of Eternity.
Edge of Eternity.
Yes,
Edge of Eternity. That's a Trinity.
I don't know why. Sorry guys. I went to bed at 2 a.m. My head is still blue.
He got the Matrix in his mind.
Oh man, you don't want to know what I have in my mind though. Yeah.
No, we don't.
Okay, Katie Lou. Let's go back to the game.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Wait. Let me say something real quick. Oh yeah, Jordani Quesada. Yeah, me and Miss Crazy, we were fighting. She's like, "Let me do this. Let me do that. Stop it. You're knocking me off the map." Yeah, we were fighting too much, but we had loads of fun though. And we actually got better to playing the game though. We actually had a lot of fun, really. And we beat it the other day. And yes, we're gonna try and play number 1 now.
Yo, Donnie's messing with that. You see what he put?
What did he put?
He's like, he's like, what about Abandon? I don't know. Ask Sourblow. Maybe that game is in the same universe.
Oh yeah.
It's another Chris Roberts game.
But yeah, but other games. I mean, I want to try that one, that Zombie Ate My Neighbor game, because really, I'm a big fan of it. I have my Super Nintendo Mini with that game in it, and I play it a lot. I get into it and I play a little bit. I love that game. It's so much fun. So yeah, I want to play that game. And what else do we have though? I forgot though. But yeah,
they had Dreamscaper. They had Besieged, Skull, which is like a platformer, like a 2D kind of fighter.
All right, I'll try them all anyways, because every time new games come out, especially those games, I love to play them. Yeah, so I'll give them a shot.
And what's great is that I'll be able to try those games on my Steam Deck.
Nice.
Ooh, the Steam Deck. I'm gonna do dual boot, so I can definitely have Windows. I'll probably have Windows 11 on on a dual boot, and then have my game.
You got it in already?
If it doesn't get delayed.
Okay.
Don't you dare say that.
What
Don't you dare put that on me, Silent Cypher.
Do they send you an email telling you when they're gonna send it, or
I haven't got it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a reason.
I will take a plane to Utah and hunt you down.
Dude, you go ahead and take a plane. I'll cook you some food. We'll eat some food. Drink some beers. We'll have fun.
You know what would be funny?
I'll go over there.
You know what would be funny? I pre-ordered it way after Drawn a Dark, and if I get it first than you, oh my god, I'm gonna have a
dude. If you get it first, that would be such a
How come y'all getting it? How come y'all getting Steam Deck? I'm not. I'm gonna pre-order mine too, so we can all have Steam Deck.
I'm not getting one.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, you're in.
You know what's gonna happen to Sour Blows? It's gonna be an empty box, and he's gonna just go like this. He's gonna cut it out.
All I know is if I order that Steam Deck, I'm getting the knife emoji.
So you guys already, you both mentioned Crazy and Joanna. Okay.
We talked about the games for Game Pass, yeah.
Okay, so let's move to the last topic, financials. I'm gonna let you introduce the topic and talk about it. I believe you got some of the details there. So go ahead, Mr.
Yeah. In the beginning, we were kind of talking about, what was the impact? What was our reaction to the whole Bungie situation?
Yeah.
And, I took this article because it was nicely condensed. Shout out to the Iron Lords. This is on lordsgaming.net. So thank you for that. And it kind of gives the Sony 21 fiscal year 2021 Q3 earnings, and this is from the end of December 31st to February 2nd. And some of the key things that we kind of discussed in the beginning of the show was that games and network services are now Sony's number one business segment. So, mind you, they just purchased Bungie, and it so happens that they continue to double down on the fact that they want to continue to make these network services be their number one thing and kind of their pillar of their business. Second was PlayStation plans to publish and develop 10 live service games by March 31st of 2026. So as you can see, they already had probably a road plan, and just having Bungie on board kind of helps maybe finally meet that goal that they set themselves for the 2026. Then Bungie will be a focal point in helping develop live service games with Sony. There are over 900 employees at Bungie. They're working on Destiny and a new IP. Bungie will work on internal Sony projects in conjunction with their own games. They will function as a live service incubation team. Keyword, incubation team, meaning there's going to, out of those 900, they're going to have people working on Destiny, and then other people coming up with some games that are basically going to be these type of network or game as a service, kind of being an incubation and saying, hey, does this work? Is this going to come to fruition? So that's pretty important there. The next thing I see is that revenue from live service content is up 50% on the year, along with more than 100% growth in revenue from live service content dating back to 2014. This growth in live service is a big reason why Sony acquired Bungie. Again, we talked about that, and that's another reason why when Microsoft went to Activision, you saw their stock hit and they lost about $20 billion, because all those deals that they've made with these live service games, it brings a lot of revenue. We know the fact that Sony has had certain deals on the side where they get a cut for crossplay. We've heard about the 30% cut they get. The other thing here is that PlayStation 5 has sold 17.3 million units at the same pace. The PlayStation sold 20.2 million units. Sony's not able to meet demand due to manufacturing issues in semiconductor. We kind of talked about that. Their projections are not the same because of the fact that there is a shortage still. They're not able to make as many PS5s and sell them. And that's why we had that story weeks ago where they want to continue to bring the PS4 that has a much bigger install base so they can continue to sell the software they need. Sony is unable to comment on future acquisitions such as Activision deal. They are not sure how the Microsoft Activision deal will impact PlayStation at the time. Sony plans to continue to execute as planned until the changes in 2023. It was noted during the Q&A session that they need to know the partner well before acquiring them. Both sides have to want the deal. In the event one party is not 100% sure, they will work on a longer-term partnership. Sony plans to assist Bungie in employee retention and hiring new talent. It was a major factor in the merger. Bungie would like to merchandise their IPs in multiple segments, including Sony Picture Studios. The company has about $1 billion left for acquisitions based on the money they have already allocated. This does not mean that they only have $1 billion left, and that's important, right? I saw that on Twitter. Oh, Sony has $1 billion left, Tony. They have the budget, but that doesn't mean that if the right deal comes along, they're not going to open up maybe the wallet and say, hey, we need to do this. Overall, I think, and I'll throw it to Sourbloww. I think we kind of covered a lot of these things, and we're seeing how Bungie coming over correlates with a lot of the things that they said in this financial report. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, unfortunately, there was like a technical issue. Everything you said from the financial, it didn't came out.
What?
Are you messing with him again?
I'm just messing.
He is. I know he is.
No, yeah. I mean, gaming is growing. It's growing extremely fast, and I think I think even Phil said it before that this whole pandemic actually accelerated things, not only for Microsoft, also for Sony, and the streaming is growing pretty fast. That's the way we're going, unfortunately, for some of us, that love the hardware. Even though I believe the hardware will be there as long as we purchase it and as long as we gamers, demand it. But that's the way it's going, and I think, every company is seeing, how gaming is becoming the biggest media source. It's making more money than movies. It's making more money than the music is becoming so huge, and that's why all these companies are trying to invest their money into growing these and growing their companies. And I think they want to get the jump before other companies like Netflix wants to jump in. There's a rumor of Apple wanting to even make a console or something like that. It's just rumors, but there's other big companies that want to jump in. We don't know what Embracer Groups is planning. We don't know what Tencent is planning. So we have this kind of like, purchasing war, kind of like Disney, HBO, Netflix, how they're they were purchasing, and trying to grow their libraries, trying to grow their streaming service. And this is where we're heading right now with the gaming division, with the, gaming in general.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that day and date is sooner than we think, and some of these new games come faster to PC?
I think so. Especially now with, how Microsoft is growing. I think Microsoft is kind of pushing the competition, because like the thing is, if the competition is giving you the value, as much fan as you are for a piece of hardware or a company, you're eventually gonna be like, hey, my wallet, I'm spending much more money here. I get day and date here. I get all this here. I'm gonna have to, go to the other side. But I feel like Xbox is going to push Sony not only to go day and date on with PC, but I also think they're going to push them to do it with whatever service they come out eventually. It's a matter of time to me, more than if they're going to do it or not.
Orticus. What about you, Silent Cypher? What are your thoughts?
With everything that's going on, honestly, I wouldn't surprise. Just going back to what you were just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up going day to date. Probably within the next year. Honestly, it would not surprise me with how aggressive Microsoft has been with Game Pass.
Yes.
Like the writing's on the wall is like they have to compete. And moving forward, if they're going to go into that side of the business and they're going to have their own Game Pass killer or whatever it is, it's like you have to bring the goods, right? You got to make sure that you've got something to support the reason as to why people are buying that service, as to why people are paying $15 a month or whatever the case is. So I think, again, it goes back to the same thing we talk about in the past: is competition is good for us as the consumers. Because if Microsoft's doing it and Sony wants to get into that area, they're going to try and put their best foot forward. Because otherwise, what are you doing there, right? You look at stuff like OnLive, you look at other streaming services that have come into play, and some of them have faltered and just did not have a good reception. Sony, I think, has seen a lot of that, and I don't think they want to have the same mistakes come into play. Like they've got the advantage in the fact that they got to see how Microsoft performed with it. They saw how, all these companies have jumped into that streaming ship and either failed or just kind of floundered. And hopefully that will allow them to approach it with maybe a more level head on what they're going to bring to the table. But yeah, no, I definitely think that they are going to push their hand for that. Was there more to that question? I think that's the big thing that pops into my mind.
I have a Luke, crazy. We want to know your thoughts, but I have a one to start with. The same thing. This part where it says Sony plans to assist Bungie in employee retention and hiring new talent. It was a major factor in the merger. Bungie would like to merchandise their IP in multiple segments, including Sony Picture Studios. What are your thoughts on that? And then give us your thoughts as well overall on what we've been discussing.
Are you sending that over to her? Him or me?
Is it me or is it because
I'm talking to you, Crazy.
Oh, again, ask the question.
I thought you froze.
No, because
okay, crazy.
Because I thought you were talking to Brian.
I thought he was talking to Brian too.
I thought that too, though.
Crazy Lou. So
what's up?
To chime in, I want to first kind of switch it up a little bit. And what do you think about the part in the bullet points of this article that said Sony plans to assist Bungie in employee retention, hiring new talent? It was a major factor in the merger. Bungie would like to merchandise their IP in multiple segments, including Sony Picture Studios.
So wait, you're telling me that Bungie also wants to manage their movie in Sony Picture Studios, pretty much? So you're telling me?
Well, I see the Destiny movie, man. We'll have Chris Pratt will voice the Guardian. I mean, one of the Guardians, or maybe
Pratt,
the Traveler.
No. We don't need that.
Well,
I think we're okay.
I'm gonna tell you something though. I mean, it's this whole Bungie thing, and again, it's gonna really help them a lot. It's gonna help them grow. It's gonna help them do better things because really, it's something. If you don't get, I talked this the other day with a bunch of people that if you don't get what's the word? I keep forgetting. In Spanish, it's called actualizado. How do you say that?
Actualize.
Actualize. Yeah. If you don't get to the what's going on nowadays, and you're gonna stay there, because I was telling them, yeah, Sony is great right now. They are great. They are great right now. They're doing good. But the thing is, if they don't catch up to the times and start looking in the future, because they need to invest, they need to move, they need to do this, and when they got Bungie in there, and the things are gonna help. I mean, they're gonna open up, help them get also new talent in there, which is hard right now to find new talent in gaming. It's really hard, and it's good they're gonna get new talent in there to help them with their IPs, which Bungie does pretty awesome IPs. I mean, like I said this earlier though, Bungie Destiny is alone in their own game right now. They're alone out there. Nobody can compete with that game. I mean, I have not seen a game. I think they tried it with what's this game? It's a free to play game. I forgot the name. I think they tried it with that one. The free to play game. What's that? I forgot though. But yeah. But either way though, they tried it with Division. They tried it with Anthem, and they felt misery. And Bungie's there alone. So yeah. Get them to help out with all that stuff to bring those new IPs, which Sony's gonna make a whole bunch of money too out of it. It's a pretty good thing. It's a pretty good deal, though. I mean, it's pretty cool that Sony's actually investing to make its own future, make it better, though. That's my opinion, though. And make a movie, yes, I'm all for it. And right now, since video game movies are actually doing really well, I am all for it. Yes, Destiny movie would be great and awesome.
Imagine a TV show, maybe.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say something though. I mean, Brisket earlier today, he did say something though. He said, "What was there a story in Destiny?"
There is.
Yeah. Okay. But here's the thing though. See,
I'll tell it to you.
But wait. I did not know about it. But one day I met up with somebody who actually knew the story of Destiny, and you know, I was like, whoa. I was like, can you talk to me about it? It was in an Xbox Live party. We were playing the Taken King, trying to take the Taken King down, which, oh man, that's one of the best DLCs I've ever played. You can't imagine how many times I played that strike. It's awesome. And I asked him, tell me the story about it. So he told me the story, and I was like, whoa, this story is pretty amazing. And I know about it. He said, yeah, I mean, Destiny had like a bunch of cards you got to read to them. It helps you out with the story and a bunch of things. I was like, whoa. So yeah, it's a lot of depth into it. So in a way, if you make a movie or a TV series, it's going to help a lot of people understand what Destiny is about, which they didn't know, you know? Plus, yeah, I'm all for it. Make it happen. Please do. Please. Because we need that stuff nowadays. New what's it called? New movies. Refresh the movies scene right now, because they're looking at making remakes and stuff like that, or prequels, and yeah. Let's get new stuff in. We want that. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Jedi Peter said if there was a story, I missed it.
Yeah, I was
it's the overall story. So, the Traveler's the biggest thing. That's all I know. And the fact that, all of a sudden when this entity all of a sudden came, went away, all these different races came together. But you're right. it's kind of one of those things where it's just there in the backdrop. But I think Destiny would definitely benefit from having its lore expanded through different mediums. Merchandise would be cool. I would love to. I have my wait, give me a second.
The story was that the wizard came from the moon.
My original Peter Dinklage Guardian here.
Can I borrow that?
No, you cannot. But and I would love to maybe even Sony, since they say expanding. What if we got, for the people like myself that love, what if we got the Sony Destiny take, in the sense of a story-driven, playing as maybe one of the, maybe a specific Guardian in the overall Destiny universe, and kind of going in a cinematic action adventure game. I think it would be awesome.
That would be interesting. Definitely.
Cool. Yeah, so I think
you got
that's it.
Anything else to add?
Right.
Okay, I guess we can start with Crazy Lou's intro, since he didn't do any intros. So you do the intro now.
I'm still gonna do my outro though.
Maybe not. I don't know.
No, you gotta let me do my outro. It's part of that. Then there's no deal. I'm not gonna do my intro.
Go, do your intro.
Well, okay, wait.
Introduce yourself.
Contract.
And
Introduce myself?
What did you play this week?
Oh, what did I play this week? Oh man, I've been playing Last of Us 2. I'm trying to beat it before Dying Light comes up, but I'm late now.
Let me guess. Your team Abby.
Yes, I love Abby. The Abinator. Oh man, Abby kicks ass. I hate. What's her name though? I forgot the other girl's name. Come on, Ellie.
Ellie.
Don't you dare.
I mean, she's cool. I love her in the first one. She's cool and all. But yeah, this should have been an Abinator game. I mean, I love Abinator. She's like all big and buff, and she kicks ass. Yes, Abinator's awesome. I love her. But yeah, I have not gotten to the part where I play with Abby still. But yeah, I'm still playing with Ellie. I'm rushing it through. I want to get there. But yeah,
what do you think of the game so far? Real quick, sorry.
What do you think of the game? I'll be honest though, and I say this again. They should have just made the game only about Abby and just leave. Seriously, because okay. I mean that's what I feel like.
Here's what I think.
All right.
I would love to see the director's cut if it ever comes, but I would love to see it where, instead of getting the beginning of the game, they start with Abby's story first. Because what happened to me in that game, and we can kind of make a whole side story podcast. Wait. Abby, I didn't care about Abby when they finally introduced Abby, because I wanted to know. I should have been introduced to her first, so I can understand her motives, even though I understood it. To then go into the scene where it kind of starts. I'm not going to ruin for people, but we'll leave it at that, because this is not a Last of Us podcast yet. But what else, man?
But I'm going to say something though. I mean, I have not gotten to that part where you were saying, because I don't know, as it goes forward, then it goes backwards. I think it's probably going to show you why the motives of Abby trying to kill him is going to probably show you that in the game. But like I said, I mean, when that happened, what happens in that game, it happened. I was like, hey, it's a zombie world. Nobody's a good guy. That's the truth, though. Even in Walking Dead, Rick is not a good guy. Rick is also an enemy. Everybody's
Be careful
bad.
with spoilers.
No,
I'm not saying. No.
Rick is a great guy.
Yeah,
how dare you besmirch that man?
No. I mean, one day I'm gonna say something though. This is true. One day I used to think like that, but one day I saw top 10 bad guys in Walking Dead, and the number one was Rick. Why? Because other people trying to survive. But I'm telling you though, it's true though. Other people trying to survive like Rick. And probably those people are good, and Rick did not know them and kill them. There's like a bunch of it happens though, because that's how it is.
Go back to Abby.
Oh wait, we'll go back to Abby though. But
Did you watch the series?
Yeah, I watched.
I think he has. He only thinks about Abby.
I watched the series though. But I'm telling you, we'll talk about that later though. But yeah, I'm having fun with it. Really, the game is pretty cool, and I'm enjoying it. The graphics are awesome. I love the visuals, all that stuff, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a really good game. Really good game.
Okay.
Annoyed by the fat zombies, yeah, but it's a really good game.
Oh, those are the best, man.
Oh, the ones that blow up and like farted over you. I hate those guys. Yeah.
They're like the bloaters.
Well, that was crazy, guys. Joanna Dark, your outros.
Yeah, I thought it was my intro because you were trying to mess with me. Nah.
No, you're ready. We're ready.
Yeah, so you can definitely, if you want to continue this conversation of Last of Us and all the other things, you can find me on Twitter on big_n_boss. You can also find me here, of course, Wednesdays on XBI. along with these three crazy individuals. And tomorrow I will be on Boxenberger and the World of Gaming,
Oh, really?
along with
Nice.
Mr. Boomstick and Mr. Badbit. So excited to join and be one of the panel members out there with Boxenberger. And then you can also find me later on that evening recording, hopefully if they don't record next time, without me, the Nickel Gaming Show. Because last week they had the blasphemy, and I'm pretty sure Albert's watching, of saying that Lightning was the GOAT of Final Fantasy, and I have to stop that. I cannot let that go. But you can also find me on the Xbox Factor podcast on Mr. Boom's Double Barrel Gaming channel with Pong Soul, Mav, Boxenberger, and of course, Mr. Boom. And besides that, I'm excited to play Dying Light this week, and that's about it.
Wait, can I do something real quick?
Boxenberger! Yes, you can.
I love doing Boxenbergers.
What about Pong Soul?
Okay, before Brian does his outros, real quick, we just need one subscriber to get to 200. So before we end the stream, let's get to 200. Come on, guys.
Yes, we need one more.
Guys, help us out. Subscribe, hit all the awesome buttons. Honestly.
So go ahead,
we
Brian.
Appreciate
do
it.
Your outros.
Yep.
Where can we find you?
Okay, so right, so as far as what I've been playing, I obviously again, creature of habit. I'm playing Forza Horizon 5.
What a surprise!
No big surprise there. Actually, you know what? It's been a lot of fun jumping on there and doing some of the rival challenges. I've been doing some of that with some of the people in the community, which has been fun. I would love to play some more of that. I don't know if you guys want to get together or if anyone else wants to get together. I'm more than welcome to play some more Forza Horizon 5. But besides that, call me a bad parent if you want to. But I did start playing Gears of War with my son, which has been a real blast. Honestly, it's hard because my daughter's not really into games. My son is. My son is younger, but he enjoys it, and he really enjoys the story on Gears so far. So who am I to deny the kid some Gears of War? So he and I ended up playing a couple chapters of that this weekend. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll play some more this weekend. And besides that, I picked up Crash Bandicoot again, and I just started back into Fallen Order again, because I never ended up finishing Fallen Order.
Nice.
But as far as where you can find me, I'm on Xbox at Silent Cypher, and then I'm on Twitter as Silent Cypher, and on here, on XBI on Wednesdays, I'm here as Silent Cypher or Brian Hopkins, whichever one you're familiar with.
Or the Banished.
And yeah, or the Banished.
Brian the Banished.
Depending on what channel we're hanging out. Yeah. So yeah, no, it was a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Shout out to the chat this evening. It was a lot of fun. And shout out to you guys. It's always fun meeting up with you this time of the week.
Okay, on my end, I had a blast really today. This week currently, I have been playing a lot of Halo and a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh card game. I actually need to get back to my single player games. And you can find me in the Xbox and Twitter at SourBlow18. And on my gaming channel on YouTube, well, not my gaming channel, well, our channel for the Gaming Lobby, which is a Spanish speaking channel. We talk about, well, we got kind of have a podcast every Tuesday at 7 p.m. So if you have any Spanish speaking community friend or anything, you can send them over there. Even if you don't speak Spanish, you can go ahead and give us a little boost, a little help. We appreciate that. And I'm there with Crazy Lou. I'm there with our other friend, Yo Soy Green Cobra. And nothing. I guess this is the outros. Real quick before we go, though, I'm going to say this. Mr. Joanna Dark and Crazy Lou, remember, I'm going to be in the controls, even though I'm not going to be the host. after next week. So if you behave, I might not do more things like I did today.
Oh,
Not
So-
the host. Crazy Lou's the host. I'm not.
I'm the host next week. So
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let
Sure.
you do your slogan.
Yes,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's take
Go
it
ahead.
out. Let's take
I'll
it out.
give you that chance, but
Let me do. Wait. Let me do my
don't make
outros.
me cut you out next week.
Wait. Let me do my outros real quick. It's a quick outros though. Again, let's do this real fast. Chat. Thank you all for hanging out with us, man. Seriously, you guys were awesome. I just love the way the chat flowed. I just love the way you guys asked questions. You guys were awesome. You guys were fun. Seriously, chat, love you. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Really. And yes, we have finally reached the 200 mark. Thank you for
Yes.
subscribing, guys. Thank you
you.
so much, man. Really,
Don't
we
talk
did.
about Leisure Suit Larry or we'll lose.
Oh,
Can you bring it up, right?
Y'all want me to bring Fifilina in?
No.
No, Fifilina? Okay, we do Fifilina.
Cut him off, Sour Blow.
But anyways, you guys can find me in Twitter, Crazy Louis Gaming, where I'm dancing, where I'm jumping, where I'm ninja kicking. I don't shower anymore because people said they don't like my shower videos, so yeah, the shower is done. But anyways, you find me on Twitter as Crazy Louis Gaming. Also, you guys can find me here at Crazy Louis Gaming in Xbox International, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. ET, and on Tuesdays in Sourblog Gaming and Gaming Lobby at 7 p.m. ET, where it's a Spanish channel with me, Sourblog, and King Cobra. So yeah, guys, have a good one. And as always, remember, let's go, let's rock, and let's get crazy. Yeah. See you
See
next
ya.
week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the XBI Podcast. Please make sure to like and subscribe on the way out. We'll see you next time.